Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Tuber Vishal. Today, we're diving into an inspiring biography that showcases the life of one of India's most iconic business leaders, Ratan Tata. In Business Kohinoor, Ratan Tata by B.C. Pandey, we explore the remarkable journey of a man who has transformed the Indian business landscape with his vision and leadership. From humble beginnings to becoming the chairman of one of the world's most prestigious industrial houses, Ratan Tata's story is filled with resilience, innovation, and invaluable lessons for aspiring entrepreneurs. So, if you're ready to uncover the secrets behind his success and the principles that shaped his journey, stay tuned. Introduction. The shining star in Indian industry, Ratan Tata, who is the master of the huge Tata Industrial Group, has a special place in the global provided industrial sector. In the current scenario, he has played a commendable role in the Tata Group, a valuable standing not only at home but also outside the country. When J.R.D. Tata passed on the responsibility of his industrial heritage to Ratan Tata, he had before him huge and difficult challenges. He had to prove that he became the chairman of Tata Group not only because he was related to the Tata family, but because of his talent and qualification. The now most impressive person of Tata Group was viewed with doubt and ridicule then. His critics were also not relentless. But within a few years Ratan Tata amazed everyone with his talent and work. Under his chairmanship, Tata has made a strong hold at international level. Not only that, he was awarded with the title, Indian Henry Ford. He was addressed as the harbinger of Indian road revolution. Nano is the best example of his talent, sincerity and foresight. It is remarkable that the industrial heritage is currently taken care of by Ratan Tata, to establish, refine and modify it. From its founder Jamshedji Tata to Ratan Tata's ancestor J.R.D. Tata, the entire clan had played a significant role. To bring Tata Group to the present milestone, the infrastructure, work environment as well as criteria played a very important part established by these veterans. So it would be worth expedient to mention those shining stars of Tata Group, who have for its operations and gradual progress, put relentless effort. Only then it is possible, the overall and correct evaluation of the personality and work of Ratan Tata. Keeping this fact in mind, in the beginning of the book itself necessary material regarding him has been submitted. Hope this book would turn out to be inspirational for the readers. Author. Family background. It is understood that Parsi community was the resident of East Asia, now known as Iran, centuries ago. From here, they spread to various parts of the world. Following this sequence, centuries ago, the Parsis arrived in India too. Though they are widespread across the world, they are few in numbers. They are believed to be worshippers of fire god, but worship sun, moon and fire. In olden days, in the Parsi sect, special importance was given to archery, horse riding and character building. With time, changes in certain fields were inevitable. Still, their devotion to their religion and their yearning for propriety is still intact. With certain exceptions, these people do not form marital relations with other society or races, they even get married amongst their close relations to maintain the purity of their race. To some extent, this taboo is present even today. Parsis are quite strong mentally and their conduct is also dignified. Usually, their performance in the field of science, knowledge and their work area is very good. In Indian society, Parsis have created a special place for them. They have earned this respect for which they are actually entitled to. Not only in the industrial sector but also they have provided significant contributions to social sectors. Along with this, they have efficiently and loyally fulfilled their national and social duties. Though counted in minority, they did not use this for political or financial benefits but through their hard work and diligence, they have focused in creating opportunities of progress for them. This has been one of the important features of their character. In the oldest towns of Gujarat, there was a Navsari. Decades ago, a group of Parsis came and settled here. For a little time, this area was under the effect of Parsis but later Muslim invaders took it under their control. During the independence year 1947, this area was under the control of Baroda. Navsari was the residence area of a huge population of Parsis. Dadabhai Nauroji, who during the British rule was elected member of British Parliament, was born in Navsari. Tata household's founder Jamshedji Tata's father, Nao Sarwanji Tata's residence was also in Navsari. Jamshedji Tata's birthplace was also Navsari. Today, their residence is protected as a memorial. Jamshedji's father Naosarwanji Tata belonged to the Parsi sect whose branch was involved in priesthood. For many generations, their ancestors did this work. In fact, they were counted among the society's reputable ones. With changing times, the murmurs of development were seen in all sections of society. Parsis community's Tata family wasn't untouched by this either. Naosarwanji Tata was among the first person in Tata family who, instead of sticking to age-old traditions and values, thought of doing something new. As a result, he decided to make business his priority and instrument for sustenance. Navsari town, during those days, was very backward, and for the fulfillment of his dreams he selected Mumbai outright and marched towards it. He started his work from business and banking. Though it was a new and unknown area to him, with slow, determined and strong steps, he kept on moving ahead. Slowly as experience was gained, his thoughts also got a new direction and he took an important decision that his future generations would also work ahead in this direction only. His only son Jamshedji was at that time at Navsari. To give his dreams a practical approach, he called his son also to Mumbai, so that his upbringing would be in a proper way as well as a proper commercial environment, and experience would help him to groom himself properly. This would be helpful in building his future. Jamshedji Tata, an era changer, the foremost person in Indian industrial world, Jamshedji Tata was born on the 3rd of March 1839 into a Parsi priest family in Navsari. He has been called as the father of Indian industries. He was the only son of his father. His childhood was spent in Navsari. When Jamshedji was 13 years old, his father started an export business. At the age of 14, he landed in Mumbai. As per Parsi tradition, he got married at the age of 16, to Hirabai 10 years old. Naosarwanji wanted to provide higher education to his son, so at the age of 17, he was admitted to Elphinstone College. After few years, he finished his college education as a green scholar, equivalent to graduation. The attachment he had for literature and books remained with him his whole life. After he finished his education, his father involved him in his business and started making him aware of the details of the business. In the year 1859, his father sent him to Hong Kong on a business trip, and there, he opened a branch of his family's firm and he stayed there till the year 1863. Debut in the industrial sector. At the age of 29, in the year 1869, with only 21,000 in hand he started an individual business firm. Through this, Jamshedji and his colleagues got an employment hold for supply of military accessories. The margin for profit was enough, and it encouraged them to start their work in textile industry. In the year 1869, with the partnership of few friends, in Mumbai he bought an old oil mill and converted it into a textile manufacturing factory. He himself had taken care of its management, and within a few years, he converted it into a working factory. After 2 years, he sold it to a cloth manufacturer at a profitable margin. He had kept its name, Alexandra Mills. In the year 1872, he once again went to England, and this time, his purpose was to study the cloth manufacturing factory at Lancashire. He was interested in the growth of Indian cloth industry. At that time, there were about a dozen cloth mills in Mumbai and all had a reputed position too. But Jamshedji selected Nagpur, which is in central India, to start his factory. Due to this, he could avail the benefits, which were available at that time in the railway sector. While selecting Nagpur, he had put forth 3 points: cotton production, railway facilities as well fuel and water availability. In the year 1874, with a capital investment of 15,000 he started the Central India Spinning, Weaving and Manufacturing Company. In this his and his friends' finances were involved. In January 1877, when Queen Victoria was declared as the Queen of India, Empress Mill was started in Nagpur. For Jamshedji, the yarn cloth mill in Nagpur worked as a laboratory. Here, he paid attention to very minute details for its progress. He paid special attention to new experiments in technology as well as laborer welfare. With time, he established highest American quality machinery and brought about an improvement in the quality of cloth. In the year 1886, he introduced pension fund and in 1895 introduced accident compensation. In this way, he went miles ahead of his competitors. Excited by his elementary achievements, he decided to buy a non-working, sick mill in the year 1886. At the age of 47, he accepted the challenge of converting a sick, non-working mill into a healthy working mill. This mill, on the lines of Swadeshi movement, was given the name Swadeshi Cotton Mill, and primarily this was supported by Indian shareholders. They happily and willingly invested in this. But 2 years later, situations took such a turn that even dividends could not be announced. Due to certain reasons and rumors, prices of few shares came down. Tata's name was at stake. When banks refused to give loan, Jamshedji sold a few shares from his private share of Empress Mill and invested it in Swadeshi Cotton Mill. This had a manipulative effect and the prices of shares increased. With his sharp brain and services of his employees, within a few years, he converted Swadeshi Cotton Mill into a highest quality textile mill. Soon, clothes made here were exported to China, Korea, Japan as well as Middle Eastern countries. When he realized that when materials were sent to countries like Japan and China from their Mumbai factory through water transport, the major chunk of company's profit is lost in the form of rent, he took upon himself to change this. During those times, this water route was under the monopoly of 3 companies, who always keep their rates high. So Jamshedji associated with Japanese steam navigation company called Nippon Husine Kaza, so that cheap transportation facility would be available. The companies who earlier had monopoly opposed this move, but Jamshedji faced them without any fear and emerged successful. In June 1896, these companies had to reduce their rental rates to a suitable and competitive level. Jamshedji was fully familiar with the situation that industrial success and industrial revolution was a basic requirement, therefore, he was determined to use the techniques and method prevalent in the industrial area. During that time, the work of joining different corners of India through the network of railways and telegraph was going on. Tata Group took meaningful use of these in expanding their business. Entry into iron and steel industry. Jamshedji had decided on his England tour that he would start an iron and steel industry in India. In view of circumstances existing then, this thinking was beyond the time. The British were reluctant about big industries and work expansion in India. The government policies themselves were a snag to the progress. But Jamshedji was concrete enough to go ahead with his idea. In the year 1901, Jamshedji turned his attention towards Indian steel industry, which was at its beginning stage at the time and very little steel was produced. In this work, he took the help of American and English surveyors. In this, the main name was that of American Charles Pice Perrine, who spent many years in India in the discovery of steel store and Indian underground survey. Afterwards, a few Indian surveyors helped him. He traveled to European and American countries to gather information regarding technology as well as steel manufacturing process. He wanted to manufacture iron on a big scale, so in this project he invested a huge sum. This plan of his could have been realized, but in the year 1904 in Germany, Jamshedji breathed his last. To decorate his heritage, groom and develop as well as fulfill his incomplete dreams, he had 2 sons, elder son Dorabji and younger son Ratan, as well as Jamshedji's cousin brother, R.D. Tata. During his end days, he had discussions with his cousin brother R.D. Tata, elder son Dorabji and younger son Ratan, and expressed his desire to carry forward everything that he had started. And if that wasn't possible, then to at least keep those projects secured. Jamshedji's dream of steel production was realized when an iron and steel manufacturing company was established in Sakchi, 150 miles west of Calcutta. In terms of raw material, coal, water supply and transportation, this place was suitable and the company progressed rapidly. On the 16th of February 1912, during the happiest times, steel was produced from Sakchi plant for the first time. Today, it is one of the nation's major steel producing plants. The vision that Jamshedji had for his steel city, the construction of Jamshedpur, Sakchi, fully gave justice to it. The building of the Taj Hotel. Jamshedji built in Mumbai, India's foremost hotel named Taj Mahal. A huge amount was spent in its construction. The objective behind its construction was to attract tourists to India and promote tourism. He himself had collected the furnishings and decorations for the hotel through his various travels. It consisted of facilities like soda and ice factory, washing and polishing machine, laundry and electric generator. It was inaugurated in the year 1903. In those times, it was Mumbai's first building which was fully illuminated with lights. It had fans of American technology and Turkish-style bathtubs. English butlers were appointed. Overall, this hotel had all those facilities, which were found in world's renowned hotels. Jamshedji's public welfare works. Jamshedji was filled with sacraments of charity. Due to this, in 1892 he established J.N. Tata Trust. He set aside a fund for higher education. Through this, eligible students were sent abroad for higher education. Through this scheme, many of India's pioneer engineers, surgeons, physicians, barristers as well as ICS were benefited. In the year 1898, his 14 buildings, a large chunk of his finance and real assets were used for the installation of Post-Graduation Institute for Scientific Research. Due to British rule, this dream of his could not be fulfilled during his lifetime. After his death, his sons fulfilled it. In this way, in 1911, this institute was started in Bangalore, which was the joint efforts of Tata, Indian and Mysore governments. In the beginning, it had only 3 major departments: general and applied chemistry, electrotechnology, chemistry and organic chemistry. As time passed, many other departments became part of it. Just like Tata Steel, Jamshedpur Indian Institute, Bangalore also functioned as sources which later lead to the blooming of various branches like Central Food and Technological Research Institute, Mysore, Indian Lac Research Institute, and National Aeronautical Laboratory, Bangalore. They had contributed in the establishment of various institutions and in their progress. Foresight and intuition. Jamshedji will be remembered for his foresight, intuition as well as imaginative ideas and how he put them into action. He not only expanded his business but helped improve the lives of his countrymen. He provided novelty as a new lifestyle. He was the first individual who used rubber tire in a coach. He was the first person who drove an automobile in Mumbai. He was also liberal in charity. He was instilled with high social values. He ensured labor welfare and provided facilities to workers which at that time no one had even thought of. Even in the West, same of these changes happened after decades. On January 7, 1965, the Indian government released a postal stamp in memory of Jamshedji. It was the country's way of honoring him and appreciating his services for Indians' industrialization. Sir Dorabji Tata. Dorabji was the eldest son of Jamshedji, who after the death of his father, took the responsibility of taking care of his heritage and making it reach new heights. In this task, he was assisted by his younger brother Ratan Tata and Jamshedji's cousin brother Ratan Dadabhai Tata. It was their optimism and strong willpower that enabled Tata Group to come out of every hardship and fulfill their father's dreams and take the company to new heights. Dorabji was born in 1859 and finished his elementary education from the Proprietary High School, Mumbai. After this, he was sent to England. At the age of 18, he took admission at Unveil and Cases College, Cambridge. While at Cambridge, he showed keen interest in sports and won many awards in cricket and football. In 1879, Dorabji returned to India and took admission at St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. After finishing his studies, he joined Mumbai Gazette as a reporter and started his career. Slowly, he developed interest in his father's business. In 1884, he entered his paternal business. He was absorbed into the cotton division. Jamshedji wished Dorabji to meet the highly reputable and scholarly drive H.J. Baba, who stayed with his daughter Meherbai. This meeting later transformed into marriage. When Dorabji got married on 1897, he was 38 years old and Meherbai 20 years younger. Dorabji had all the qualities the Tata family was known for, including leadership. It was due to his foresight and thinking that he was able to fulfill all late father wanted to achieve but could not. With the help of his closest relative Ratan Tata, he paid attention to those projects started by his father. Foremost was the installation of a modern iron and steel industry, and the outcome of this effort was what is today known as Tata Steel. Along with an increasing mental strength and for industry's power supply, he established Tata Power. Both of these are today an integral part of Tata Industrial Group. For each member of his team, he worked as an inspirational force. Whichever project he laid his hands on, he kept himself fully involved in it. He paid utmost attention even to the smallest details. Not only that, for the search of raw iron, he had traveled with the scientists and explorers to the mineral areas. Under Dorabji's leadership, Tata Group had expanded incomparably. During Jamshedji's time, there were 3 textile factories and 1 hotel, and from there, the growth was rapid and in various areas too. Soon, he had the biggest steel company in private sector and also in the forthcoming years, an integrated steel plant, 3 hydroelectric power plants, huge composite oil and soap manufacturing factory, and also the management and ownership of 2 cement factories. Besides these, it was during the time of Dorabji that Indian Institute of Science was established in Bangalore. In the year 1910, the King of England awarded him the title, knighthood. Like this, he was appreciated and respected for the works he had done. Lady Meherbai, Dorabji's wife Meherbai, had a special place in women's movements. For the education and welfare of our Indian sisters, she was always ready. She was the founding member of Bombay Presidency Women's Council, which later became National Council for Women. She organized movements for women's higher education, removal of purdah system as well as ending of untouchability. In these works, she got full support of Dorabji. To get a complete perspective on Indian girls' education, she called a surveyor from England to conduct a survey. This survey went for a year, and after that it was published as a book, which for many years to come worked as a guiding example for women's education. The speech she gave on India and Indians at Battle Greek College, America, was very inclusive, as she had involved herself with every aspect of Indian life and society. Like Dorabji, she was also interested in sports. She was a good tennis player and had won innumerable awards. Both of them participated in many All India championships and were successful too. She was also an active member of Indian Red Cross. During the time of war, she did lots of hard work to collect funds and such. To recognize her contribution, King George V himself honored her. On the 18th of June 1931, she passed away due to leukemia. In memory of her, Dorabji established Lady Tata Memorial Trust in 1932. The focus of this trust was to study blood and various diseases related to it. In 1932, he established a trust fund, which was in the future to be used for research purpose, disaster relief and humanitarian causes. The name given to this trust was Sir Dorabji Tata Trust. It was believed that in this trust, he had invested his lifetime savings. He had contributed a lot to the education sector. He had given donation to Cambridge University to purchase laboratory equipment. He had also provided financial help to Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune, for the study of Sanskrit. He breathed his last on the 3rd of June 1932 in Germany. He was cremated besides his wife Meherbai at Breakwood Cemetery in England. Ratan Dadabhai Tata, popularly known by the name R.D. Ratan Dadabhai Tata, was born in Navsari in the year 1856. He completed his elementary education here only. Later, he pursued his higher education at Elphinstone College and later went to Madras to study agricultural science. After finishing his studies, he started his career from his father's company, Tata and Company. When he entered this company, its condition was not very good and business was going very slow. So, for company work he was sent to Hong Kong. In the year 1876, even after his father's death he was continuously engaged. In 1883, he took the control of company in his hands. At that time, the situation of the company was not very good. It was at that time, when he got an opportunity to display his financial ability, and on many occasions, he had saved company from various situations as well as vicious conditions. Jamshedji was very much influenced by R.D.'s ability. So in the year 1884, he took R.D. in his own company, M. Press Mill. After that, in the year 1887, he was made part of the newly formed company, Tata and Sons, as a partner. Ratan Dadabhai was made to affiliate with the manager Bayanji Dadabhai of Empress Mill. Bayanji that time was looking into technical and management affairs, whereas Ratan Tata was entrusted with the financial part. During this period, he along with his cousin brother Dorabji Tata had been given the responsibility to open a factory at Yavatmal. The nation's mill financial condition was not very good at that time, and so RD was entrusted with its financial management part. Under the guidance of Jamshedji and along with Dorabji, he successfully derived results and brought the company out of difficulty. The business established by Naosar Vanji was different from the business established by Jamshedji. So, He had entrusted the responsibility of the Eastern branch to his cousin brother RD. For a few years, he had gone to Hong Kong, where he established branches in Shanghai and other places, which were involved in the business of rice and silk. Under his influence, this business flourished so much that very soon, branches were opened in New York and Paris, which were mainly involved in pearl and silk business. He fell in love with Suzanne Breyer in Paris and they got married in the year 1902. After Jamshedji's death in the year 1907, the company name, Tata & Sons, was converted into Tata Sons & Company. It had three partners: Sir Dorabji, Sir Ratan Tata and R.D. Tata. The company in Hong Kong, which was operating in the name Tata & Sons, was also merged with this. With the headquarters being in Mumbai, R.D.'s main task was to take care of the business and financial aspects. While staying here, he played a significant role in giving perfection to those envisaged projects of Jamshedji, Iron and Steel Company, Hydraulic Company and Indian Institute of Science. After the death of Jamshedji in 1918, R.D. took over the responsibility of the important departments. During the time of World War I, when the company was going through a bad phase, one of the notable evidences of his works was to bring it out of it efficiently. This was possible due to his rich experience and unequaled guidance. Though there were serious financial difficulties, he never turned his face away from welfare and humanitarian activities. For a while, he was member of Imperial Legislative Assembly. Later, this experience helped him in rescuing the iron and steel industry. In the year 1890, his Japan trip provided him help to improve Indo-Japanese trade relations. The Japanese king, in recognition of his work, awarded him with the title, Third Order of the Rising Sun. On the 26th of August 1926, he took leave from this world. Sir Ratan Tata, Jamshedji's youngest son, Sir Ratan Tata was born on January 20, 1871. He was 12 years younger to his brother Dorabji. He completed his education from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. In the year 1892, he was married to Navatsbai. After his marriage, he started living with his parents at Esplanade House, along with his wife. After his F.A. there, Jamshedji passed away. He made his residence at Brightland, in Marine Lines. Later on, he built an amazing building on Wadby Road for himself, the construction of which was completed in the year 1915. He could stay in this building only for few months and then, he went to England for his treatment and never could come back. After his father Jamshedji's death, he took over the work of an insurance company in France, whose agent in India was Tata & Sons. He also managed the work of Tata & Company, which was involved in thread, silk, pearl and rice business. They had branches in Paris, Shanghai, Kobe, New York and Rangoon. Though Sir Ratan Tata was affiliated with the working of Tata & Sons, its major responsibility laid with his elder brother Dorabji, because he was involved with the majority of the responsibilities. Ratan took a liking to land acquisition in Mahim and Bandra and, after this, the work was taken over by the government. Sir Ratan Tata's social life was also very busy. He was quite interested in traveling. During his later half of life, almost every year, he spent majority of his life in England. He was a member of London's Cotton Club, and was counted as a reputable person among London's high society. In the year 1906, he bought York House, which was situated in Twickenham, near to London, England, and adjacent to it, in a 12-acre plot, he cultivated a beautiful garden. Sir Ratan Tata had lots of social consciousness within him. He was fully aware of the atrocity of the English in South Africa as well as the revolution carried under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. So, he not only provided ethical but also financial help for this. For this struggle, he sent Gandhiji in 5 installments. 1, 25,000. On the other hand, he provided excellent support and chance to the splendid work carried out by Gopal Krishna Gokhale and his Servants of India Society. Due to his generous helping nature, for this movement also he financially donated a total amount of 1, 10,000. Seeing the pathetic state of the poor in India, Sir Ratan Tata was very much agitated and wanted to improve the situation. His request was that there should be an inquiry based on scientific techniques regarding this. In the year 1912, At London University he suggested to build a body to work towards it and offered financial proposal for it, so that taking into account of those living in poor and pathetic conditions, a proper suggestion be given for correct diagnosis. It was formed in the year 1913 and for this, Sir Ratan agreed to provide financial help of £1,400 annually, for 3 years. In the year 1916, it was increased to 5 years. This payment was continued to be provided by his trustees, even after his death in 1931. Several candidates have conducted research in this area and have submitted research papers also. Sir Ratan Tata had provided financial help to London School of Economics to start a department for research purpose as well. This new department was started in the year 1919 and was called Ratan Tata Department of Social Science. Afterwards, London School of Economics took full responsibility and its name was also changed. Ratan Tata was also very interested in India's history. In the year 1912, for the archaeological survey and excavation purpose in Bihar and Orissa, he put forward an offer for financial help. Accordingly at Pataliputra, under the guidance drive A.B. Spooner, an excavation was carried out. From the year 1913 to 1917, he provided financial help of 75,000 for this purpose. Through this excavation, several coins, terracotta articles and other valuable materials were found which are preserved at Pataliputra's museum even today. Sir Ratan Tata had a very generous heart. He has wholeheartedly donated for any activity by which he was influenced. In natural disasters like famine, flood or earthquake, he had contributed bountifully. Besides this, he had also provided financial help for social monuments, schools and hospitals. For George Pancham Anti-Tuberculosis League, he had contributed 10,000 rupees annually, for 10 years. The institute operated by this league provided free treatment for poor tuberculosis patients. For his various works, in the year 1916, he was awarded with the title, Knighthood. He was a great follower of art also. During his visits within India as well as abroad, he collected pictures, oil paintings, guns, swords, silverware, calligraphy, papers and rugs, which were important from the viewpoint of art and culture. Later, he submitted these collections to the Prince of Wales Museum in Mumbai. In the year 1916, Sir Ratan Tata had been on a tour to China and Japan. When he returned, he fell ill. Doctors suggested him to go to England for treatment. Along with his wife, Navatsbai and secretary P.P. Mistry, he departed for England in 1916. On the way, his ship fell prey to German torpedoes. Though along with other passengers Ratanji was also rescued, but the delay had adverse effects on his health. In September 1918, at St. Ebbs, Cornwall he breathed his last. He was cremated at Brookwood Cemetery besides his F.A. Thayer's cemetery. Sir Ratan Tata had no children. He had dedicated a major chunk of his property towards charitable activities. Lady Navatsbai, Sir Ratan Tata's wife Navatsbai was born in September 1877. In the year 1890, she got married to Sir Ratan Tata. She was good at horse riding and polo. Having spent a major part of their lives in England, among the elite group there, this couple were quite respectable. Like Sir Ratan Tata, Lady Navatsbai was also a major enthusiast of fine arts. In the collection of various artifacts, her contribution cannot be judged as any less. Navatsbai had become a widow at the age of 41. She had the responsibility of taking care of Sir Ratan's estate on her shoulders. She spent the rest of her life at the Tata House, in a dignified manner. Due to Sir Ratan Tata's untimely death in the year 1918, Navatsbai was included in the group of directors of Tata Sons. She was in this position till her death. She died in the year 1965. She was the first and only woman who was the member of the board of directors of Tata Sons. The donation which she gave liberally to the Jamshedpur-based National Metallurgical Research Institute is an example of her philanthropic nature. Through this, she expressed desire to spend the fund at Sir Ratan Tata Trust towards creative activities. In the year 1928, she played an important role in the establishment of Ratan Tata Institute. Through this, the pure pose was instead of providing cash to people, provide necessary training to the poor and needy and provide them employment opportunities in private institutions. She always desired the welfare of all. She was above all religion, sect and caste and was always ready to offer help. As the chairman of Sir Ratan Tata Trust, she invited Sir S.J.I. Markham of Carnage Trust, for the study and reporting of the problems of Parsi community. Childless Navatsbai always desired that her husband's heritage should stay alive, so she adopted Naval Hormusji, who was the son of Hormusji Tata. In this way, Lady Navatsbai's adopted son Naval Hormusji took over the proceedings of Tata household. Naval Hormusji Tata. Naval Hormusji Tata was born on the 30th of August 1904 at Mumbai in a middle-class family. His father Hormusji Tata was a spinning master in a mill at Ahmedabad. When Naval was just 4 years old, his father passed away. This was a great shock to his family. For a widowed mother, it was a difficult task of bringing up her children in their growing years. Their relatives in Mumbai provided them some relief for some time. After that, their shelter became their family home at Navsari. Finally, this family settled down in Surat. The earning which their mother earned through Zardosi work took care of their needs. During this time, he came in view of Dorabji. With his help, Naval's two brothers got shelter at J.N. Petit Parsis orphanage. Exactly after a year, he also got shelter in it. In this orphanage, there were about 300 children, who were provided food, clothes and health at a limited financial budget. This was more or less a perilous life. Living under these conditions, this child later on went to an important position in Tata Company. It was the unique coordination of his firm determination and personal qualities that he saw this kind of success as milestone. As it is well known, Jamshedji was married to Hirabai. He had two sons Dorabji and Ratanji, and they had no successors. Sir Ratan Tata's wife, Lady Navatsbai, had adopted Naval Hormusji when they were growing up in an orphanage. In the year 1918, at the age of 47, Sir Ratan Tata passed away in England. Headed by Sir Dorabji, in the meeting of family members it was decided that for a good sacrament, it was necessary to have a son, and it was decided to adopt a son. Naval's mother was Sir Ratan's favorite cousin mother, so it was decided to adopt Naval. Navatsbai accepted this family decision, and in this way Naval Hormusji Tata was adopted. Navatsbai wanted Naval to be instantly removed from orphanage, but orphanage's rules came against this. He was able to come out of it only if he passed his 10th class exams while staying there. Though suddenly he had become part of an impressive family, he always remembered his past. He used to tell that I am thankful to God for providing me with an opportunity to experience the difficulty of poverty which put my life ahead in proper tracks. After completing graduation in economics from Mumbai University, to do a short course in accountancy, he went to England. After returning from there, in the year 1930, he entered Tata Industries as dispatch assistant secretary. Very soon, he joined as assistant secretary in Tata Sons. In the year 1931, he became chief of the aeronautics department. Afterwards, he was transferred to the cloth department as an executive. Seeing his capabilities, he was made the joint managing director of the cloth industries managed by the Tata, in 1939. In the year 1941, he was promoted to one of the directors in Tata Sons. In the year 1948, he took over the responsibility of Tata Oil Mills Company Limited as managing director. Before that, he was already the chairman of Tata Oil Mills. In the coming years, he quickly got promotions. He was the chairman of other cloth industries and 3 electric companies, and later was elected as the vice president of Tata Sons. In this way, he had the direct responsibility of 4 textile mills, 3 power companies, as well as that of Sir Ratan Tata Trust. Furthermore, he had the responsibility of guiding other companies of the group and the trusts. Though surrounded by work, he made calmness, good manners, modesty a part of his personality, and he never forgot his past. Despite his hectic lifestyle at Bombay House, he used to meet people from all walks of life. He was very attached to the various trusts operated under the Tata name because the work of these trusts was based on the feeling of charity. And he used to find himself more responsible towards these works. He was the chairman of Indian Cancer Society for 30 years. He had also contributed a lot in the area of sports. From the year 1946 to 1961, he was the chairman of Indian Hockey Federation. He was the first chairman of All India Council for Sports. He also provided his services for International Hockey Federation. He used to keep himself fresh through the whole day, even though the activities were very hectic, and he never forgot to take small breaks. He was very sociable and was of very frank nature. Employees also used to enjoy his interesting jokes and also respected him. His work regarding laborers was also better. He was an honest and open personality. He had a deep interest in solving employees' problems. According to the situations, he used to put forward his viewpoint, and while arriving at the solution of a problem, he used to consider all options. In the year 1946, he represented Indian textile industry at the International Labor Union. His ideas were greatly appreciated. In the year 1957, he was elected as a regulatory member of the International Labor Union and was its member, till his death in 1989. In the year 1966, he was elected as a member of Labor Panel of Nations Planning Commission. He established the National Institute of Labor Management, which is now known as National Institute of Personnel Management. He was its president from 1951 to 1980. Due to various reasons, he acted as a bridge between owners and employees for their growing differences. He provided fair and proper suggestions. He used to consider himself as a helpmate for employees' problems and for their rights. He has always done a remarkable job. He used to take care of the rights of the employees in private organizations. He was also the chairman of Hockey Federation for several years. During his time, Indian hockey team won Olympic hockey gold medal 3 times consecutively. Tata Sports Club has served Indian hockey well. He was a talented all-rounder. He used to provide his services to various organizations at the same time, like Indian Institute of Science, Swadeshi League, Bombay Raja Samaj Welfare Council, National Safety Council, etc. He was the chairman of various social welfare organizations. In the year 1969, on Republic Day, he was awarded with Padma Vibhushan by the President. In the same year he was awarded for his contribution in maintaining industrial peace. Naval Hormusji Tata was married to Sunu. His married life was not soothing. After the divorce between Naval and Sunu, the responsibility of upbringing of his 2 sons Ratan and Jimmy was taken by Lady Navatsbai. On the 5th of May 1989, this simple-hearted reformer passed away. He used to give equal opportunity to all for the progress. J.R.D. Tata, Jahangir Ratan Dadabhai, J.R.D., was born on the 29th of July 1904 at Paris. His mother was of French origin. His father's name was Ratan Dadabhai Tata. He was Jamshedji's cousin brother and became famous by the nickname RD. JRD's education happened in Paris and Japan. For 1 year, he did primary service in French army. He had desire to be in the army. But the Almighty had something else planned for him. And he had to say goodbye to French army. He wanted to do engineering from Cambridge University, but during this time he got a message from his father to return to India, and like an obedient son he returned to India. Upon returning he found himself in such a commercial empire to which he was not habituated. He started his work as an assistant at Tata and Sons. Soon after his father RD's death, in the year 1926 he was included as a director in the company. In the year 1938, he was appointed as a chairman. JRD was an charismatic personality. For almost 53 years he contributed to the progress of India's industrial progress. On the 25th of March 1991, he handed over the responsibility of Tata and Sons to his junior partner Ratan Naval Tata. The board of Tata and Sons unanimously chose him as a chairman for lifetime. In India, JRD is believed to be the founder of citizen aviation. He was one of the foremost of India's pilot who achieved this qualification. In the year 1932, he founded the nation's first carrier, Tata Airlines. In the year 1946, the name was changed to Air India Limited. Tata Airlines' inaugural flight was from Karachi to Mumbai and its operation was controlled by JRD. In the coming years, for long-distance international flights he entered into a joint venture with the government and established Air India International Limited. In the year 1953 till it became nationalized he was its executive chairman. As per his suggestions, Indian government established 2 voyage corporations, Air India and Indian Airlines, which was kept for commercial international and domestic flights. He was appointed the chairman of Air India. He was in this position till the year 1978. On the citizen aviation's 50th celebration he at the age of 78 flew a 50-year-old plane and relived the moment of his inaugural flight of the 15th of October 1932. For his contributions in the aeronautical industry, he was awarded with numerous awards. In the year 1948, he was awarded as Honorary Army Captain in Indian Air Force, and in the year 1966 as Honorary Air Commander. Besides this, he was awarded various international prizes. He took care of Tata Airlines like a child. He had put forth a lot of hard work in its imagination, profiling and practical matters, and even after this for its progress and caring part. It was because of this that in the year 1951, he opposed Jawaharlal Nehru's nationalization idea. Nehru had him the concession that he would be in control in managing the freight carriers, but in 1977 government passed a law by which he was separated from it. The operations of Air India were an excellent sample of JRD's work efficiency. That was the time of social East principles. Industries had to work under several rules and restrictions, but still JRD at his level tried and took the nation's industry on the path of regeneration. It was clear from this that when JRD took over the chairmanship of Tata and Sons, that time Tata Group had the control of 14 companies. During his around 50 years tenureship, that is till July 1988, there were about 95 companies, which Tata Group had started and whose control were in the hands of Tatas. Under his ripe leadership, downright development of Tata Group happened. The major ones were electricity, engineering, hotel, consultancy services, information technology, consumer goods and other industrial goods. His contributions in the field of science and health were also noted. During his tenure, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, National Institute of Advanced Science, Tata Memorial, all in their respective fields touched new heights. JRD gave a new direction to the preferences of the existing business. He, instead of adopting a fussy convention in the taking care of household members, he adopted a pure business viewpoint. He brought talent ahead, and making use of their efficiency gave them a chance to progress ahead. In this also he had to face one or two difficulties, but he faced the challenge. As per JRD's view, intention of national interest lay in its progress, and he had contributed a lot in this direction. He did not accept the idea of giving donation at an simple level and accepting one's duties, and instead he used to prioritize those things which were everlasting and had a permanent result. With this purpose, in the year 1944, multinational Tata Trust was established. JRD started the Thelma Tata Trust in Mumbai after selling his shares. The objective of this trust was to improve the condition of the deprived women and to encourage them towards progress. He was in favor of family planning and population control for the progress of nation. In recognition of his efforts, he was awarded UN Population Award in September 1992. He was the founding member of Family Planning Institute. He was also the chairman of the governing body of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, member of Atomic Energy Commission, and was the president of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He was also the chairman of Tata Endowment for Higher Education of Indians and Homi Bhabha Council. He had also held the office of chairmanship for Sir Dorabji Tata Trust, JRD Tata Trust and Jamshedji Tata Trust. He received several national and international level recognitions. Among these the major ones were Padma Vibhushan, France's Legion of Honor, Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany, and several doctorates titles from universities like Allahabad, Mumbai, Roorkee and Banaras. Indian government, in the year 1992, awarded him with the highest citizen award Bharat Ratna. This son of India passed away in Geneva, in November 1993. JRD met Thelma in France. The romance between the two resulted in marriage in the year 1930. He was childless, but he had accepted it as God's wish. Though JRD is no more among us, yet in Tata Group, JRD era's existence would always be felt. This nation would always remember him. Ratan Tata. Ratan Naval Tata was born into a rich and famous Tata family in the year 1937 at Mumbai. He was the son of Sanu and Naval Hormusji. Ratan's childhood was spent in unfortunate conditions. When he was only 7 years old, his parents were divorced. Ratan and his brother Jimmy were taken care of by their grandmother Navatsbai. She was very fond of Ratan. Ratan's elementary education happened in Campion School, Mumbai. At the age of 15, for further studies, he was sent to America. From America's Cornell University, in the year 1962, he obtained a degree in architecture and structural engineering. Upon returning to India in 1962, he entered the Tata Group. JRD was the chairman of Tata Group. He sent Ratan to Jamshedpur to work for Tata Steel, so that he could understand thoroughly the functioning of Tata Steel. There, he also wore blue uniform and worked like other employees. During this work, he handled jobs like selecting stones by shovel as well as taking bricks from flames directly. In the year 1971, he was given the responsibility of National Radio and Electronics Company. Nelco at that time was going through financial difficulties. Nobody had any hope of its success. But seeing the future of the company, Ratan succeeded in convincing JRD, who was the then chairman, that company needed further investments, though JRD was not very eager for further investment. It was that time when the rule was of licenses and permits. Due to that, to bring fruitful consequences to his work, he had to suffer several hardships. These hardships provided him with a new vision. So, he paid more attention to grooming his qualifications and therefore, did higher education in management from Harvard School in 1975. In the year 1988, he was made the chairman of Telco. After his father's death, he took over the chairmanship of Sir Ratan Tata Trust in the year 1989. During his time, JRD had extended the base of Tata and Sons. In the year 1980, it had only 11 directors and by 1991 it increased to 18. Those POPLE were included in this, who had made significant contributions for the growth of Tata and Sons. In the coming years, there was shuffling happening in this. On the 25th of March 1991, JRD announced as his successor Ratan Naval Tata and suggested Ratan's name for the post of chairman of Tata and Sons, and he himself announced retirement. Tata Group's journey under the leadership of Ratan Tata. When Ratan Tata took charge of the 104-year-old Tata Group, it was managed for 50 years by JRD, who was his predecessor. He provided the group a new glow, and on the other hand, he left behind his personal style also. During JRD's latter period of functioning, various institutions of Tata Group, whose powerful chairman and managing directors who were closely associated with JRD, tried to use their intimate relations as a background and tried to leave a mark on the companies they were associated with. In July 1991, central government brought an end to various provisions of MRTP and marched towards liberalization. This move of the government provided much relief to Ratan Tata, who had only taken over the responsibility 3 months ago. When Ratan Tata took over the chairmanship, the management of the individual companies were in the hands of powerful chairmen and managing directors, and they were going in their own way. To bring all of them together was the biggest challenge for him. He decided the age of chairmanship and managing director as well as the age of retirement. For chairmanship, leaving age was 75 and managing director it was 65. He brought together the then existing companies, few were insured of coming out, new companies were started and later few were acquitted. In the first decade of his work, he started 32 new beginnings. Till the death of JRD, in 1991, it was proved that Ratan Tata had his blessings of bringing all the companies under the banner Tata Sons was AP proved. For example, during this time Tata Holdings slowly increased their share ratios for the group companies like Tisco, Tata Steel, Tata Chemicals, Telco, Tata Motors, and Tata Tea. Under him, the globalization of Tata consultancy services happened. During this, Tata Motors was listed in New York Exchange. In the last decade of this century, for the easiness of work, Tata Group sold off its shares in various groups like Edible Oil, Tomco Cosmetics, Lakme Pharmaceuticals, Relics and Merit Paints, Goodlass Narrowlac. Besides these assets in ICC, computer and telecommunications hardware and oil were sold off. They became separated from joint ventures like IBM, Timex. From 1990 to 2002, his main focus was on automobiles, telecom, insurance and fertilizers. In the 21st century, Tata Group's work can be divided into 7 main forms. 1. Materials. Steel and other improved plastics. 2. Chemicals. Inorganic fertilizers, pesticides. 3. Engineering. Automobiles, auto components, air conditioning. 4. Energy. Power. 5. Consumer products. Tea, coffee, watches. 6. Services. Hotel, retail, financial services, insurance, international trade. 7. Information system, software, industrial and telecommunications, automation and telecommunication. After taking over the chairmanship, Ratan Tata laid the cornerstone of several technical businesses and laid down the target for progress for other enterprises. Under JRD's guidance, his plans regarding Tata Group began to realize. In one way, this was an infectious period. In the beginning of liberalization itself, in the place of old recognitions and arrangements, new recognitions and rules were getting established. For the shuffling of the central industrial policies and all the anomalies in the establishment of individual policies and to reduce them and for their progress create a suitable environment, in this bit of government effort was also there. Due to these, a few areas of public sector were opened up for private sectors. For several decades, frozen under the socialist, corrugated economy had the chance to spread out their feet. In certain countries, there were changes in economic policies and some changes were going on. In this situation, the Indian government also understood that for industrial progress, generous policies were needed. Ratan had the advantage of this new thinking and situation. Due to this he opened new ventures in the industry. Here it is noteworthy that due to Tata consultancy services, there was a notable increase in foreign remuneration. This was established by Ratan in the decade of 80s. Very soon it became a known name worldwide in the consultancy area. Ratan Tata's foresight. When Ratan Tata took over the command of Tata Sons, not only Tata Group, but also whole nation was experiencing the breeze of change. Besides Indian economy liberalization, there was a change in global economy as well, because of the period of new thinking and challenges. He undertook several steps to face these challenges and convert the available opportunities to success. To increase one's holdings in the companies managed by Tata. With this thinking till the year 2002, Tata Steel had 8 to 26%, Telco 17 to 32%, Voltas 22 to 25%. In some other companies like Tata Chemicals and Tata Tea it remained unchanged 30%. In some new companies, Tata Infotech had 74%, Trend Limited 22%, and Tata Infomedia had 50% of holdings. Under the management and integration of group's policies in the year 1998, as Executive Group Office was established. It had one group chairman and 5 members, which was in the group company, human group resources and also were involved in the new group projects. Afterwards in 2002, Tata Group Corporate Center was established in which, the group executive officers, GEO, were included as officers. In this included were, Ratan Tata, Drive, J. Irani, R.K. Krishnakumar, M.A. Sunawala, R. Gopalakrishnan, I. Syed Hussain and K.I. Choikar. To use Tata name, an ethics code was used. If anybody neglected it, they had to stop using the name Tata. Tata model of commercial excellence was started in 1994. Seeing the importance of Tata brand, it was expected from Tata companies that they would work for brand name and progress. When Ratan Tata took over the reins, his main challenge was to bring companies under one roof, so that they could work in one direction. He made his hold on the companies tight. Though he kept majority of the company's autonomy to himself, yet during taking big GR policy decisions as a shareholder, when disagreement situations arose and to show objection and to arrive at a definite decision, he kept this power to himself. Today, Tata Group does not consist of different companies but one strong unit, which have been made to deal with the difficulties of future and also provided them a direction. Resolve. Tata Chemicals and Telco were counted amongst the top companies in India in the year 1980, but in 2001, Telco fell to grave misfortune. Overnight, its product market fell 45% and the company had to bear a loss of 500 crores. In fact, there was an increase of 7,500 crores in the sales of Telco from 1993 to 1997. These sales fell drastically when the company invested 1,700 crores in the Indica car plans. In such a situation, the decrease in sales and a loss of 500 crores was a huge challenge for the company and its employees. It was a direct hit at the self-esteem of the company employees and officials. They decided together that they have to come out of this situation. It was a matter of fact that the company employees and officials could have handled this situation in a better way, because they knew what the situation was, where this situation arose from and what its solution could have been. Ratan Tata successfully merged the self-esteem on the employees with the resurrection of the company and put it to good use. And within the third financial year itself, i.e. year 2002-03, the company incurred a profit of 500 crores and regained its previous position. This achievement was no less than a miracle in the pertaining situation. He provided the company with a new edge during dire times. He formed a task force at higher level. In a short while, 40 action teams were created, out of which 23 had been assigned operational managerial tasks. All these teams were in Tata Motors and consultancy services. These teams worked day and night, provided data to the related divisions, and after that, validated their adequacy from an operational point of view. The shortcomings were listed and measures for improvement were set into motion. The senior management team, from the chairman to other senior officials, met with the young workforce and experienced executives and took their feedback, opinions and ideas to solve the problems at hand and started working on them right away. The second task was special training program and encouraging steps. For this, everywhere, groups having a mixed array of employees of all grade and management personnel of all level were immediately sent to workshops for training. The senior management was completely focused to create a zero-loss result-oriented work culture. This was the work culture which achieved the impossible goal. Tata Indica was Ratan Tata's dream from the year 1993 itself, which came to fruition in 1999. For the fulfillment of this dream, Telco's officials visited the world. Actually, they wanted a car which would be ideal for the Indian weather. It should have the spaciousness of Ambassador, framework of Zen, the style of Italy and the power of the French engine. Ratan Tata was closely attached to this project. That's why when he accepted the challenge, he worked relentlessly for its completion. When it became necessary, he collected all available expertise. But he developed it on his own. In the end, it was truly a national achievement. As a result, when Indica rolled out of the showroom in 1999, the company had received 15,000 completely prepaid bookings. This says all about its fame. Later on, many improvements were made to it and other models such as the Indica V2, Indigo, Indica Sedan, etc. were developed. In this section, Rovers, England was a major player. Hence, it signed an agreement with Telco to sell Indica V2 in England and the European continent, and within 5 years, 1,000 cars were to be sold as the City Rover. The first batch was sent in the year 2003. Tata was a leading company in its region from India before chemical liberalization. In the year 1990, it launched 3 new ventures. They were establishment of Babrala fertilizer plant, Uttar Pradesh, Tata farmer centers and production of branded edible salt. Out of these, Babrala plant was opened in 1994. It was to produce urea. Nearby, in its complex, an ammonia plant was also set up. Babrala complex set new standards in the fields of production, technique, energy conservation and safety. Despite this, due to excessive import of soda ash from China and decrease in the set standards of urea, an adverse situation was created in 1999. For the first time in the history of the company, it had to announce a loss in the end of the June quarter in the year 2000. As a result, a new management team was created. Under the leadership of Prasad Menon, this team focused on the reasons for this situation of the company and started working on from a new end. It took some important steps in different areas. These measures had a combined effect, and in the year 2001-02, the profit increased to 200 crores. This was Ratan Tata's foresight that timely measures were taken to avoid an imminent danger, and not only did Tata Chemicals come back, but it did so with a bang. Another incident is of Tata Steel, Jamshedpur, where Ratan Tata solved a complicated issue in no time. In order to remain in the competition during the age of liberalization, Tata Steel was in dire need of renovation, and for this, it was necessary to lay off 35,000 employees. At the time, there were about 78,000 employees in the Tata Steel factory and mines. Everyone was aware of the immediate consequences of such a mega cutback, but nonetheless it was necessary. After estimating the profits and loss under Ratan Tata's supervision, a solution that came up was if attractive conditions were placed for voluntary retirements, it could be easily overcome. The negative impact of these conditions could be easily reversed by the renovation strategies in the next years, and at last, this would be a win-win situation. The conditions of voluntary retirement were so attractive that employees applied for it on a very large scale that soon, the company was relieved of excess employees. This was achieved more easily while maintaining industrial courteousness. This is the very reason why not only did Tata Steel remain in the competition, but also led it. Not only this, it was also triumphant and acquitted several steel giants. His firm resolution can also be seen in the Singur land acquisition matter, where he decided to back off instead of bowing to the obstinacy of a few POPLE. A few famous Tata companies and brands. Tata Group is the biggest business group in India in terms of market size TEM and revenue. The headquarters of this multinational company is in Mumbai. It has achieved a respected position at a global level. The main areas of its business are steel, automobiles, information technology, communications, energy, tea and hotels, etc. Its business is spread across 6 continents and 85 countries. Its products and services are exported to 80 countries around the world. This group is active in 7 business sectors and divided into 98 companies. Out of these, 27 companies are listed as public sector companies. 65.8% shares of the Tata Group are owned by its charitable trusts. The largest shares of the group are owned by Tata Steel, Chorus Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Communications, Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Power, Tata Tea, Titan Industries and Taj Hotels, etc. Tata Steels. The brainchild of Tata, Tata Steels is not only India's but also Asia's best steel plant. Tata has created history by acquiring the Anglo-Dutch steel company, Chorus. It is the biggest acquisition by any Indian company on foreign soil and it fits the magnanimous image of Tata as well. Jamshedji struggled quite a bit to establish the steel plant, but he passed away 3 years before finding suitable land to set up the plant. But he had ensured the fruition of his dream before passing away. The team which fulfilled his dream included his son Darabji Tata, expert surveyors CM. Weldon Shapurji Saklatvala and Charles Perrine Page, advisor engineer, whom Jamshedji had invited person ally in New York. Perrine created a detailed project report for the plant. Even after submitting the report, Charles Perrine continued to stay in India until it was decided that the plant would be set up in Sakchi. Sakchi was later renamed to Jamshedpur. And this switchover was done by the then Viceroy Lord Chelmsford. Kalimati Sta Tion was also renamed to Tata Nagar at the same time. During those days, the feeling of patriotism was on the rise. Tata Iron and Steel Company made this feeling its base and turned to the Indian stock market and launched its shares for public purchase on August 26, 1907. Within a mere 3 months, investment letters were received from 8,000 Indian investors. The entire debenture of £40,000 for the available ITY of working capital was brought by the Maharaja of Gwalior. 2.32 crores were collected by Publishing General, primary and postponed shares, using which a steel plant of 72,000 ton annual production capacity was to be set up. In the year 1908, the work of building the plant was started and in 1912, the first consignment was produced. The share of Tata in this company was of 11%. More than once it faced the potential danger of being acquitted by the government. To prevent this from happening, a bill was brought in the Central Legislative Assembly in the year 1924. The second time, in 1977, during the reign of the Bharatiya Janata Party, 1977-79, the erstwhile Minister of Industries tried to propagate this agenda, but failed. Jamshedji had dreamt of establishing Tata Steels to set new milestones. The dream of Tata Steels was brought to life by Darabji and R.D. Tata. But J.R.D. Tata was the one who increased the value of the Tata assets from 62 crores to 10,000 crores in 1990. J.R.D. Tata had the inborn ability to judge a person and develop leadership qualities. He nurtured an amazing manager like Rusi Modi and then ensconced him onto a prestigious post. Modi improved the working of marketing operations and created an export unit. He established the Z blast furnace, which was the biggest Tata blast furnace according to the national records, 2004. J.R.D. Tata's successor Ratan Tata received the responsibility of chairmanship from Rusi Modi in 1992. Because of a liberalized Indian economy, the main competition was in terms of prices, which means that Tata Steel wasn't doing too well at the time. In the latter half of 1990, the McKinsey report advised Tata Steels to bid farewell to the steel business. But what happened to its contrary came as a shock to everyone. Unprecedented changes were made in the company. With new and attractive plans, the company got rid of excess employees and the number of employees decreased from 78,000 to 43,000. This goal was achieved without harming the industrial harmony. The company separated many minor perfume trades from itself. The main focus was made on reducing the cost while maintaining the quality of steel and bringing the prices up to competitive level with latest technologies. Meanwhile, a cold rolling mill was established. In the year 2001, B. Mathuraman took over the position of the managing director of the company from J.J. Irani. Despite the plunge in steel prices, Tata Steel was amongst those 5 companies in the world that incurred profits. In the later years, notable success was achieved from branded products and retail. In the past few years, the company made some noteworthy acquisitions. Amongst these, the acquisition of Chorus Steel was historical. The company, which was once at the 56th position of steel production, has become the 6th largest manufacturer of steel on its 100th year and will continue on this path of success in the upcoming years as well. Tata Chemicals. Tata Chemicals was established in 1939. Its first consignment of turbo generators imported from foreign manufacturers became collateral damage during the ongoing WW2 at that time and drowned in the sea. After this, the next consignment was somehow brought to Mumbai. But the first few years of the company weren't too good. The company had to face several hurdles from establishment to production. Its most profitable venture would have been the production of soda ash, but at the time, only 6 companies in the world knew the technique to manufacture that. But Tata Chemicals created the technique of its production on their own. The second task was a minimum daily production of 400 tons. A chemical engineer, Darbari Seth, presented a blueprint of the chemical plant to JRD Tata. JRD agreed to his plans and gave him the responsibility of engineering, fabrication and establishment of the new machines in Mithapur. Darbari Seth and his team worked day and night to finish the task assigned to them and assured that everything functioned well together. As soon as the plant was finished, the team was assigned with the task of producing a minimum of 400 tons as the daily output. In the first fortnight itself, the production rate reached 545 tons per day. Today, Tata Chemicals Limited is the second largest manufacturer of soda ash in the world. Besides India, its production units are in Britain, Kenya and America as well. Apart from this, the company also manufactures sodium bicarbonate, sulfuric acid and sodium tripoli phosphate on a large scale. Other than this, Tata Chemicals Limited is the biggest manufacturer of urea and phosphate fertilizers in India. Not just this, it's also the biggest manufacturer of branded iodized salt in India. In the year 2003, Tata Chemicals gained control over Hindustan Unilever Chemicals, which was leading in Bihar, West Bengal and Jharkhand in the phosphate segment. The plant of Hindustan Unilever Chemicals is in Haldia and Tata Chemicals plants are in Mithapur, Gujarat, and Babrala, UP. A new plant for the production of nitrogenous fertilizers is also under construction in Babrala. Because of its huge and diverse dealer network, Tata Chemicals has started quite a few branded productions in the recent years and penetrated quite well because of its farmer training program. The Tata Farmer Centers have done revolutionary work in the country. Tata Chemicals also exports 10-15% of its net production. Tata Motors. Tata Motors is the largest automobile company in India. According to the estimates of 2007-08, its net worth was of 35,651 crores. It is at the number 1 position as the manufacturer of commercial vehicles. As far as passenger vehicles go, it is counted amongst the top 3 manufacturers. The company holds the 4th position in truck manufacture and 2nd in bus production. So, it is a renowned name in the world in the field of automobiles. Telco, at present, Tata Motors, was established in 1945 and it began the production of vehicles in 1954. Today, more than 40 lakh Tata vehicles are running on the Indian roads and it has entered the farthest corners of the country. The production units of Tata Motors are in Jamshedpur, Pune, Lucknow and Pantnagar, Uttarakhand. In 1998, after years of hard work and research, Ratan Tata launched Tata Indica, known as the first Indian car. Its brand Indigo and other cars were manufactured under different names, and it was also exported to several countries. In 2004, Tata Motors acquired Daewoo Commercial Vehicle Company in South Korea. It was the second largest manufacturer of trucks in South Korea. So, the reorganized Tata Daewoo Commercial Vehicle Company launched several new vehicles in the South Korean market and started exporting them to other countries. In 2006, Tata launched a mini truck in the market. It was quite successful. It has a lot of demand in the market. As a result, its production has crossed 50,000 per year. In 2005, it established a new unit in Maharashtra as a joint venture with Fiat, which will produce Fiat cars and Fiat power trains along with Tata cars. The company is establishing new units in Dharwad, Karnataka and Sanand, Gujarat. The company has a network of approximately 3,500 centers for dealership, sales and service and spare parts. It is also the distributor of Fiat cars in the country. With its auxiliary companies and subsidiaries, accessories, it is also managing business in England, Thailand, South Korea and Spain. This also includes the acquisition and management of two of Britain's most famous brands, Jaguar and Land Rover, in 2008. Prior to this, Tata Motors established a joint enterprise with Brazil's Marco Polo in 2006, which is famous for manufacturing the frames of buses and coaches, which will now manufacture buses and coaches for export to Indian market and other countries. This year, the company has launched another joint enterprise with Thailand's Thonburi Automotive Assembly Plant to supply and market vans in Thailand. The manufacture of Jonan pickup trucks has already begun in the Tata plant in 2008. The company has established its position well in the international market too. The commercial and passenger vehicles of the company are marketed to Europe, Middle East, Southeast Asia, South Asia, Africa and South America. Its subsidiaries and franchises are active in Bangladesh, Ukraine, Kenya, Senegal and Russia. The biggest reason for the company's success in the last 50 years is the need of the customers and satisfaction. This pattern is evident in the research and development. The 2,500 researchers and engineers of the company's research center, established in the year 1966, have played an important role in creating new technologies and UCTS for the company. The Research and Development R&D centers are AC. Tive in India and Pune, Jamshedpur in Lucknow and in other countries such as South Korea, Spain and England. Tata Motors manufactured the first lightweight commercial vehicle and the first indigenous passenger car, Indica, in 1998. It established its position in the Indian market within just 2 years of its launch. In January 2008, Tata launched an economical, cost-effective car, Nano. This was in accordance with Ratan Tata's promise that he made to the people of his country to present them with a low-budget, but splendid car. It was named as People's Car. It was a laudable effort for the global automobile industry. Nano is such a car that fulfilled the dreams of several households of having a comfortable and safe car within their budgets. In India, it is available in both deluxe and standard versions. In the standard category, it is placed at 1 lakh rupees, VAT and additional charges not included. That's why it has been nicknamed as Laktakia car, as well. It has been designed while keeping in mind the needs of an average household. Accordingly, it has a spacious passenger compartment, in which one can stretch their legs. It can easily seat 4 people. It is up to the necessary safety standards in India. In terms of pollution standards, it will emit less pollution than most two-wheelers being manufactured in India. Because of its lightweight frame, it will perform more per capita energy consumed. Because of high performance efficiency, the emission of carbon dioxide is also less. All in all, it will be very useful for a small household. In the upcoming years, Tata Motors can revolutionize the automobile industry by manufacturing several new and improved vehicles. All of these will be technologically advanced and built according to the needs of the customers. They will optimize the energy consumption using latest technologies. The research and development unit of Tata Motors is completely dedicated to this. Tata Motors is also active in engineering and automotive solution with its subsidiary units. Apart from this, it is also functional in production of construction machines, parts of machines, machine tools, factory automation solutions and production and service orations of computer application parts. Other than this, Tata Motors is also conscious of its social responsibilities. It's a signatory of the Global Compact of the United Nations and is active in social and labor-oriented affairs in accordance to their principles. Accordingly, it is working harmoniously for the social development and improvement of the rural areas near its production units. Tata Tea. Tata Tea is the second biggest tea company in the world, whose branded tea business is spread across more than 60 countries. The prime companies in Tata Tea Group are Tata Tea, Tata Acquitted, England's Tetley Tea Company. It was made possible in 2004 at the price of $40.7 crore, and Tata Coffee. Tata Tea Group, established as a joint enterprise with James and Finlay of England in the year 1964, is in the business of tea, coffee and several other beverages today. It also has its own tea plantations. Whilst Tata Tea is at the top in India, Tetley brand is the second biggest tea bag brand in the world. Furthermore, it also has shares in Africa's Jokel's Tea Packers and the Polish tea brand, Vitex and Flosana. Business sectors. Branded tea. Tata Tea has 5 major brands in the country like Tata Tea, Tetley, Chakra Gold, Canon Devon and Gemini, which reach all major sects of consumers. Its distribution network consists of around 12 lakh retailers. Instant tea. Tata Tetley's export unit exports several kinds of instant tea powders to America. Specialty tea. Tata Tea sells black, green and herbal tea under the brand names of Tetley, Jamaica and Good Earth. Coffee. Tata Coffee produces 9,000 tons of coffee annually. Tata's at O'Clock Coffee brand is the third largest coffee brand in America. Tea plantations. Tata Tea Company has nearly 50 tea plantations in India, and has a few shares in certain plantations in Sri Lanka as well. Other than this, the company also sells energy drinks and Himalayan brand mineral water. Tata Tea's joint colleagues and subsidiary enterprises are as follows. Tata Coffee. It is a consolidated unit of Tata Tea famous by the name of Consolidated Coffee in the East. Apart from this, the control of America's third largest coffee brand, at O'Clock, also lies with Tata Tea. Tata Tea, England-based Tetley Group has business across the globe. Tata AC quitted it in the year 2000. Tata Tetley is a subsidiary unit of Tata Tea, which trades in instant tea powder and exports it to America. Tata Tea Incorporation is a subsidiary unit of Tata Tea located in Florida and provides makers with bulk quantities of instant tea powder. Moreover, Mount Everest Mineral Water Company, which produces the Himalayan brand mineral water, is also connected to Tata. Tata Tea also has shares in the Wadawala plantations in Sri Lanka. Tata Tea grows and manufactures black tea from 18 plantations in Kerala. It works as Canon Devon Plantation Company here. Recently, Tata Tea has made a pact of joint enterprise with China's Zhejiang Tea Export and Import Company, which will produce polyphenols and instant tea extracts. Tata Power. Tata Hydroelectric Power Supply Company was established in 1911. After this, it was united with the Andhra Valley Power Supply Company in the year 1916. Today, Tata Power Company Limited is the largest private power producer company in India. Its power production capacity is 2,300 megawatts. Establishment of a few new units is in discussion, and it is estimated that in the next few years, its production capacity will increase exponentially. Tata Power is not only active in the hydroelectric sector, but also in solar and wind energy sectors as well. Production from Bispuri and Kapali plants in 1915 was the first private effort from Tata Powers in the field of energy production in India. Companies thermal power units are active in Tamba, Mumbai, Belgaum, Karnataka, and Jojobara, Jharkhand. Hydroelectric plant in Western Ghats and wind energy plant in Ahmednagar are active. This company leads the others in introducing and operating excellent energy technologies. Tata Powers established India's first 500 megawatts unit in outsourcing, providing such services and activities that prove helpful in work efficiency, business solutions and management of services. Business solutions providing such strategies and solutions that aid the customers in overcoming the challenges in their business and trade. Consultancy services deciding the aim of the business, designing the strategy, implementing the recommendations and evaluating their effectiveness. Engineering and industrial services, providing solutions to the companies in manufacturing sectors such as automotives, aerospace, industrial machinery, utility and pharmaceutical, so that they can achieve excellence in engineering and effective operations. Infrastructure services, IT services, provision of data centers, and user computing services, application management services, command center services, and providing management security services. Other than these, TCS is also active in other areas such as business process outsourcing, enterprise solutions, full services, etc. TCS is also actively engaged in the field of innovation. It has got excellent laboratories to get excellent technologies and that are working towards research of new technologies and to achieve quality new products. It includes the new age software processes, human-computer interface, nanotechnologies and grid computing, etc. The joint, auxiliary and subsidiary units of TCS are as follows. Direct subsidiaries: AP Online, C-Age Technologies, CME, Diligenta, XGenX Canada Incorporation, Tata America International Corpora, Tion, TCS Asia Pacific, TCS Belgium SA, TCS Deutschland GmbH, TCS France SA, TCS Netherlands BV, TCS Sweden AB, TCS Switzerland, Tata Infotech, Singapore, Tata Infotech Deutschland, GmbH, TCS FNS, TCS Iberoamerica SA, WIT Advanced Technology, Indirect Subsidiaries, CMC America Incorporation, Swedish Indian IT Resources AB, Tata Information Technology, Tata Consultancy Services Solution, Center as, TCS Argentina SA, TCS Brazil SC, TCS de Mexico SADCV, TCS Inversion, Chile, TCSD España, TCSD Brazil, TCS Chile SA, TCS Italia SRL, Tata Consultancy Services, Japan, TCS Malaysia SDNHBD, TCS Luxembourg SA, Capelane, TCS Portugal, Unipesel, TCS Chile, Chemicrom, SA, Cisco, SA, Syscrom, SA, Pentachrome, SA, Pentachrome Services, SA, Custodia de Documentos Interes, Financial Network Services, Europe, Malaysia, Africa, Chile and in various other countries. Changwon Investments, etc. TCS headquarters is in Mumbai and its business is spread across 50 countries in the world. A training center in Thiruvananthapuram and another institution in Pune, by the name of Data Research, Development and Design Center are functional. Despite the poor global industrial condition and recession in 2009-10, the company recorded a pure profit of 19% in the first quarterly report. Last year, over the same period, the company revenue increased by 12% to 7,207 crore rupees. Tata Teleservices. Tata Services are active in every field of teleservices, be it basic telephone, cellular telephone or long-duration national or international calls. It implements international calls via VSNL, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, which it has acquitted. Tata's engagement in the field of advanced technology and services started in the year 1980, after Ratan Tata outlined the plan of action. At that time, this field was under the Telecom Department. The attitude of the government too, was of one step forward, two steps back. When the construction zone for manufacture of telecom equipments for private sector was opened, Tata established a joint enterprise with the Kerala government. That's how Keltron came into being. With the help of a Japanese company, Tata began to manufacture PABX sets in Ahmedabad. Later, they contacted an American company. In 1990, the government opened its doors for establishment of joint enterprises with multinational companies. In 1995, the government invited tenders for cellular telephone in the country. Tata established a joint enterprise with Bell, Canada in 1997. In 1999, Tata Teleservices obtained the license for providing basic telecom services in Andhra Pradesh. Later, 5 other telecom circles, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat and Maharashtra were also obtained by Tata. These regions represent 56% of the national users. With its auxiliary unit Tata Teleservices, TTSL is providing services to 3.2 crore customers in 7,500 cities and slums across the country. In 2005, the company stepped into the field of mobile services and manages its services in 22 telecom circles in the country. Its network is considered to be the best in India. Area of business: Tata Teleservices represents the Tata Group in the field of telecommunications. It is at the number 1 position in the CDMA 1X technique. The company provides services in all the fields of telecommunication, be it mobile services or wireless desktop phones or public booth telephone or wireline services. Its other services include value-added services like voice portal, roaming, postpaid internet services, three-way conferencing, group calling, Wi-Fi internet, Tata cards, call-in card services, etc. Other products provided by the company include prepaid wireless desktop phones, public phone booths, mobile handsets, voice and data services like games, voice portal, picture messaging, news cricket, astrology, etc. Tata Teleservices has received Permis Sion to provide GSM services with the Maharashtra government, which the company has decided to implement this year. Tata Indicom is leading the others in providing mobile services. The company has partnered with Prime Telecom service providing companies to provide reliable and technologically advanced network. Joint, auxiliary and subsidiary units. Tata Teleservices, Maharashtra. Virgin Mobile India based on the franchise with the Virgin Mobile Group. The company headquarters is in Mumbai. Tata Communications. Tata Communications Limited, earlier VSNL, is the largest telecom company in India to provide international long-distance, enterprise data and internet services. This Mumbai-based company is operational in about 80 cities across 40 countries. With its subsidiary, Tyco Global Network, it provides the biggest submarine cable bandwidth in the world. Another subsidiary of Tata Communications is VSNL, Canada, which was known as Teleglobe earlier, which is a prime partner of Neotel, South Africa. Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited was established as a Government of India company in the year 1986. In the year 2000, Tata Group took over its control rights. In 2008, it was named as Tata Communications Limited. In 2008, Tata Communications announced a global expansion program costing $2 billion American dollars. Tata Sky. It is a joint enterprise of Tata Group and Star TV, out of which 80% stakes are of Tata Group and 20% are of Star TV. Even though it was established in the year 2004, yet it started operating properly in 2006. Presently, they are providing programs on 140 channels. The company uses Sky brand of England's Sky Broadcasting Company. In 2008, the company announced PVR services by the name of Tata Sky Plus, which would facilitate 45 hours recording in an MPEG-4 relational set-top box. Titan Industries. It is a joint enterprise of Tata Group and Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation. It's the 6th largest company in the world that manufactures wristwatches. Its brands include Titan, Fastrack, Sonata, Nebula and Xylus. Its areas of operations include watches, their accessories and jewelries, etc. Its manufacturing units are in Hosur, Dehradun and Goa. It also produces jewelries under the brand name, Tanishq. In 1987, the watch section of Titan was inaugurated. At that time, it was the 3rd largest watch manufacturing company in the country after HMT and Alwyn. Titan watches possess 25% of the Indian market. With its auxiliary marketing units, it also exports watches to 40 countries in the world. Its subsidiary units are in Singapore, Aden, Dubai and London. It has a long retail chain in India for marketing. Tanishq. At present, Tanishq is the largest jewelry brand in India. It is the leading brand which presents branded jewelry. It has a vast array of ornaments of 22-karat pure gold, diamonds and other precious stones. Tanishq was established in 1995. It challenged the traditional family business of goldsmiths and began a new trend in the field of invaluable jewelries. It kicked up quite a storm with its Tata guarantee of purity. It was only then that it was understood that the Indian goldsmiths had been fooling the common people for centuries selling pure gold ornaments. By evaluating the purity based on personal trust on th criterion of technology, it unmasked the widespread corruption. It was Tanishq, which provided with a means of testing the purity of gold without using advanced technology such as the karatmeter or harming the gold jewelry. Tanishq established a research and development center and base source in the field of jewelry making art in India. This huge production unit spread across an area of 135,000 sq. Fort is equipped with modern machines. The factory established in Hosur, Tamil Nadu centralizes the work of jewelry artisans of different styles. On one hand, are those artisans who are exploited and underpaid by jewelry manufacturers, and on the other hand are the artisans who work for Tanishq, who are provided with proper working conditions, are highly paid and receive other facilities as well. This is the reason why Tanishq is on the road to progress and has successfully opened several marketing centers across the country. Tata Technologies. Tata Technologies is that company of the Tata Group which is functional in the automobile sector and provides engineering and design solutions. In 2005, the company took over the control of another leading company in the same field, Incat. The headquarters of Tata Technologies is situated in Pune. Its complete subsidiary unit, which is in Detroit, Denver and London, Kmart Company, manages its business in America and Europe. The company also operates in Thailand. Voltas Limited. This Mumbai-based company of Tata is primarily an engineering, air conditioning and refrigeration company. It operates in several industrial fields such as heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, ventilation, electromechanical projects, machine tools, textile machinery, construction equipment, mining, water management, etc. Tata AIG. Tata AIG is a joint enterprise of General Tata and American International Group, AIG. This has combined the salience of Tata Group in India with the global presence of AIG in the field of insurance and financial services. In this enterprise, Tata has shares of 74% and AIG has 26% shares. Tata AIG's general insurance company started business in India in the year 2001. It provides services in each area of general insurance such as motor, housing, accidental and health, travel, energy, marine, property liability and several others. AIG is a leading global business agent in the field of insurance and financial services. It is successfully managing its business in more than 130 countries and cities. AIG's units are providing its services to commercial, institutional and individual customers. Furthermore, AIG is also a global leader in companies, retirement services, financial and property management services. AIG is listed in New York, Paris, Tokyo and Switzerland stock exchanges. The Taj Group. Jamshedji Tata had 4 major plans in his mind, which he wanted to fulfill in his lifetime. They were steel, hydroelectric power, a research university and a hotel, which would surpass all other hotels in Asia. He wanted to build such a hotel in Mumbai that would be world-class. This was the only dream that he could bring to completion in his life, when the magnificent Taj Hotel was inaugurated in Mumbai in 1903. Today, Taj has become synonymous to hospitality. Taj is the world #1 when it comes to customer satisfaction. Taj Group has opened several training institutes for excellent training of their employees. The Taj Hotel was unanimously voted as the best hotel in the Asia-Pacific region in the World Travel Ceremony, held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Taj Group has started project in Kerala by the name of Green Tourism, where expert Ayurvedic treatments are available in 5 hotels of the Taj Group. The Taj Hotel and Tower have been setting milestones in history ever since the inauguration in 1903. Several kings, princes, presidents and other famous men and women have received the hospitality of the Taj. Taj is also a splendid example of architecture that presents a transcendent view of the Arabian Sea and the Gateway of India. International craft and technology has been used along with Indian craft and artworks in the Taj. The number of rooms in the hotel doubled as a result of additional construction in 1970. This tower wing was imagined by renowned American architect Melton Becker. A Hong Kong-based Swiss designer Dale Keeler was entrusted with its interior decoration. Indian touches such as the Udaipur-style relief panels, Tanjore-style pillars, Indian restaurants, etc. were added. In 1990, the rooms on the top 4 floors were renovated. For the past 10 years, the Taj Palace has become a kind of a storehouse for the different paintings and artistic objects from around the globe. These are displayed in a mind-blowing array of numbers in the hotel. Facilities. There are 565 rooms and 46 suites in the Taj Palace and Tower, and its services are par excellence. It also provides individual butler services for the Taj Club room and suites. These butlered act as guides and helpers. The hotel business services include wireless internet and broadband internet access, color copier, in-house conferencing, mobile on rent, laptop, portable printer, available translation, interpreter and secretarial services available on rent, multimedia computers available, etc. Other services include 24 hours dining, babysitting, beauty salon, car hire, currency exchange, dry cleaning, florist, house doctor, laundry and travel services, etc. When the Taj was wounded, on November 26, 2008, Pakistani terrorists attacked two major hotels in Mumbai, one of which was the Taj Palace and Tower Hotel, where they caused immense destruction and devastation. There was an immeasurable loss of lives and property. Out of the 31 POPLE who lost their lives here were a few guests and staff. When Mumbai was finally freed from the clutches of the terrorists after a rescue operation that lasted 59 hours, they had killed 183 people in 10 different places and 239 people were severely injured. The magnificent Taj was in ruins. The rooms and corridors were drenched in blood, riddled with bullets, destroyed by grenades and burned by fires. Along with the guests and staff, several rescue operatives also lost their lives. The wife and two children of the general manager of the Taj also passed away on that unfortunate day. But still, the people of Mumbai didn't lose their hopes and determined to restore Taj to its former glory. Taj welcomes its guests again. After 24 days of the terrorist attack, on December 21, 2008, the Taj Palace opened its doors once again and guests started pouring in. All its restaurants were completely booked for December 21st. On the day of the reopening of the hotel, Ratan Tata remembered the guests and security personnel who lost their lives in the Mumbai terrorist attack and thanked the employees who protected the guests without caring for their own selves and wrote a new chapter in history. The Tree of Life, a memorial, Tree of Life, was dedicated in remembrance to those who lost their lives in the terrorist attack on November 26. Names of 31 people were engraved on the base, so that they can be remembered for eternity. This memorial was based on a sculpture by Jaydev Baghel, which was displayed near the staircase of 5th floor and was found unfazed by the destruction. The Taj established a fund, not just for the Taj Hotel, but also for the victims in other affected areas of the city and the family of the deceased. In this terrorist attack, the army, police force, firemen, several employees of the hotel, guests and commoners lost their lives. Well-wishers from India and even from outside India sent prayers and financial aid to re-establish the hotel and to provide relief to the victims. Taj Public Service Welfare Trust. The Taj established a Taj Public Service Welfare Trust as a response to this. Its main objective was to provide immediate relief to the victims of the attack and the families of the deceased. Be it common people, army officials, employees of the hotel or victims of attack in other parts of the city. This trust will keep working for victims of natural disasters, violent attacks and other unfortunate events even in the coming years. Other than the India Hotels Company Limited, Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and Sir Ratan Tata Trust also provided essential initial contributions. They also gave some thought to consulting the government to accept the funds from foreign philanthropists as well. For this, a board of trustees was also made, which included Ratan Tata, N.A. Sunawala, A.P. Goyal, R.K. Krishnakumar, R.N. Bixen and A. Mukherjee. Ratan Tata maintained his composure through this trying time as well, but he was very upset by the negligence of the state machinery, delay and lack of empathy from the government agencies. He expressed this annoyance of his, very clearly but respectfully, when he expressed his thoughts on protecting himself, his employees and institutions on his own. Tata Group's major foreign acquisitions. Since the year 2000 to present, the Tata Group has acquired several major companies overseas as well. A list is given below. Year 2000 Tata Tea acquired Eng Lands Tea Company, Tetley Tea. This was made possible by $43.2 crore. With this acquisition, Tata Tea became the biggest packaged tea company in the world. February 2004 Tata Motors signed the agreement of acquiring the commercial vehicle unit from South Korean Daewoo Group. It cost nearly $10.2 crore. August 2004 Tata Steel purchased the Singaporean steel miller Neosteel at $28.6 crore. June 2005 Tata Coffee bought American Coffee Company, at o'clock, from Griffin Investors. July 2005 Telecom company Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited (VSNL) purchased America's Teleglobe International Holdings at $23.9 crore and Tyco International Global Undersea Fiber Optic Cable Network at $13 crore. Year 2006 Tata Tea purchased 30% shares of American water firm Energy Brand Incorporated for $67.7 crore and within a year, sold it to Coca-Cola for $1.2 billion. January 2007 Tata Steel acquired Anglo-Dutch steel manufacturing company Chorus Group for $12 billion. This was the biggest acquisition made by any Indian company yet. March 2007 Tata Power bought 2 coal mines in Indonesia for $1.3 billion. January 2008 Tata Chemicals bought American soda ash manufacturing company General Chemical Industrial Products Incorporated in $1.01 billion. March 26, 2008 Tata Motors was successful in acquiring the luxury brands Land Rover and Jaguar from British company Ford Motors. This deal was made for $2.3 billion American dollars. Other than this, in the recent days, Tata Advanced Systems has made a pact with American helicopter manufacturing company, Sikorsky. Under this, the 19-seater S-92 helicopters will be manufactured. This pact was made for $35 crore. The helicopters made available for delivery in 2010. Some significant achievements. Ratan Tata has a natural talent for management. He understands the exile of time and takes decisions accordingly. He has also faced failures, but he never lost hope. Failures taught him the secret to climb further the ladder of success. In 2000, Ratan Tata acquired Eng. Land's tea company Tetley for $40.7 crores. This was the first instance of an acquisition being made by an Indian company for such a huge amount of money. Acquisition of steel company, Chorus. When British Steel Company fused with its rival, Dutch steel company, Hugo Vans, Chorus was born. 47,300 employees worked in Chorus, out of which 24,000 were operational in various cities of Britain, Port Talbot, Scunthorpe and Rotherham. There was significant decrease in the profits because of the hike in prices of crude oil and increase in energy consumption in Britain and Netherlands. Hence, it was bound to join with a company whose production costs were low. When the Chorus steel plant was certain to be sold, several giants from the steel industry rushed in. Ratan Tata's Tata Steel was also one of them. But no one considered it to be a potential buyer at the time. Several opinions were buzzing around. First, Ratan Tata was no potential buyer, and second, that this Chorus deal would prove to be a losing bet for him. But Ratan Tata kept quiet at the time. He had taken his decision after thinking it over properly. It was not in his nature to go back on his decision, no matter what the challenge might be. This case was no different. He was given a tough fight for acquisition by Brazilian firm CSN. If Chorus and CSN were to team up, they would make the 5th largest steel company in the world with an annual production of 2.4 crore tons. This would give Chorus the access to cheap and high-quality raw iron, which was available in CSN's Casa de Pedra mines. Also, it would also be able to reach the evolving markets of South America. No matter who this deal would be made with, Tata or CSN, the resultant would be the 5th largest global producer of steel, and British company Chorus would be under foreign ownership within just a year of its formation. Tata Group put forth its first step in the battle for acquisition with an offer of 455 pence per share. The Russian Severstal was also interested in making this purchase other than the Brazilian CSN. Chorus board put forth a bid of £4.3 billion. Later, several withdrew its interest in buying the company, but CSN increased its bid to 475 pence per share. CSN was consulting Chorus on this matter when Tata's bid of 500 pence per share came as a shock to them. Both of them were taken aback, but CSN quickly increased its bid to 515 pence. Similarly, Tata Steel also kept increasing its bid, and the bid amount reached to 608 pence. At last, Tata managed to successfully quit Chorus Steel for $12 billion. Chorus is the 2nd largest producer of steel in Europe, whose annual revenue is $12 billion, and the production of raw steel is more than 2 crore tons, which is mainly exported to England and Netherlands. Chorus has 3 main operational departments: strike products, long prod UCTS, and distribution and building SYS Thames. It has its own global sales office and a network of service centers where more than 42,000 people work. Chorus is a main supplier in the developed global market. Its products are used in construction, automotive, packaging, mechanical and electrical engineering, metal goods and oil and gas, etc. After the acquisition, Chorus Steel has become a subsidiary of Tata Steel. Including Chorus, Tata Steel, Thailand and Net Steel Asia, Tata Steel has spread its business to across 50 countries. Around 80,000 employees are working for Tata Steel across 5 continents. The crude steel production capacity of the group has been estimated to be 2.8 crore tons. It is estimated that by 2011-12, Tata Steel and Chorus, joint production capacity would be 4 crore tons and total turnover would reach up to $32 billion. This is the biggest foreign acquisition ever made by an Indian company. The bid of acquisition went for 8 rounds. Brazilian company CSN presented its final bid at 603 pence per share. Tata Steel bade 5 more pence, i.e. 608 pence per share and tipped the scale in its favor. Thus, Tata emerged triumphant and didn't let the country lose face and created history. Acquisition of Jaguar and Land Rover. Established in 1922, Jaguar is the global #1 manufacturer of luxury and sports cars. Land Rover has been in this field since 1948, and that's how Jaguar Land Rover has been derived from 2 of Britain's biggest brands. Their production units are situated in England. 3 of Jaguar's Model XF, XJ and XK are made in the Birmingham plant and Land Rover's Defender, Discovery RY3 and Rover Sport models are made in Solihull. This business is a big source of revenue for England. 78% of Land Rover's cars are exported to 169 different countries. On the other hand, 70% of Jaguar's cars are exported to 63 countries. Importers and franchise dealers are used for assistance in selling to customers. On March 26, 2008, Tata bought Jaguar and Land Rover from Ford Motors for $2.3 billion. Several other companies in the world were in the race to buy these 2 famous brands, but Tata emerged victorious. After the acquisition, Ratan Tata himself was present at the transfer function in the Jaguar Land Rover headquarters in Gaydon. The chief personnel were present from the acquitted company. On this occasion, Ratan Tata said that this is a memorable moment for Tata Motors. Jaguar and Land Rover are 2 famous British brands which have a global market and we have adept capacity for its further development. We will be fully supported by the Jaguar Land Rover team. The individual identity of the company will be preserved. And it will work in order to achieve the preset business goals. Royalty-free continuous ownership of all intellectual property rights of pure chase orders, construction plants, 2 design centers in England and the global network of the national sales companies has been given to Jaguar Land Rover. A long-term contract has been made for the supply of engines, stamping and Jaguar Land Rover's parts. Other areas where Ford will cooperate are information technology, accounting and availability of testing facility. Both the companies will contribute in research and design. Ford Motor Company will keep on providing financial services to the customers and buyers of Jaguar Land Rover for a while in the transition period. This deal will provide Tata Motors with an important opportunity to gain footing in the international automobile field. Also, with this, Tata Motors, which was only known for manufacturing cost-effective cars until now, will be able to create a new identity for itself in the luxury car category. This deal brought great relief for Ford Company as well because production of these 2 brands was becoming very expensive and the expenditure was more in comparison to the income. On the other hand, adequate number of customers was also unavailable. Hence, the company had been bearing severe losses for the past 2 to 3 years. Entry of Land Rover cars in the Indian market. After about 1 year of the acquisition, in the last week of June 2009, Tata Motors launched Jaguar Land Rover in the Indian market. The price range of 3 of the Rover models Discovery RY3, Range Rover and Sport each, can be between 65 lakh to 1 crore rupees. While presenting these luxury cars to the Indian customers, Ratan Tata said that, with this, the Land Rover cars have entered the Indian market. Thought they had entered a few years ago, but they had lost all connection with the customers in those years. Despite the acquisition by Tata, its sales decreased by 1/3 of the yearly record due to the economic shutdown in the past year. Keeping this in mind, Ratan Tata said, Jaguar Land Rover couldn't get applause because of recession, but it is a great product with its great production. After coming over recession, we will be able to say that it was a tough decision to gain its ownership. But as an Indian, I feel proud to be the owner of these brands. We will definitely return these to their former glory. At that moment, the chief executive officer of Jaguar Land Rover, David Smith, was present with several other chief personnel. The Jaguar Land Rover series can be compared with Mercedes S, Audi 6 and BMW 7, etc. Along with the entrance of Jaguar Land Rover, Tata Motors has become a company that deals in both luxury cars as well as cost-effective and economic cars for the common folk. The chairman of Tata Sons. 1. Jamshedji Tata, 1887–1904. 2. Sir Dorabji Tata, 1904–1932. 3. Sir Norabji Saklatvala Tata, 1932–1938. 4. J.R.D. Tata, 1938–1991. 5. Ratan Naval Tata, 1991–2012. 6. Cyrus P. Mystery 2012–present. Tata Group. A. Few facts. Founded in 1868. Tata Sons, established by Jamshedji Tata. Promoter companies: Tata Sons and Tata Industries. Headquarters: Bombay House, 24 Homi Modi Street, Mumbai. Areas of business: materials, engineering, energy, chemicals and consumer products, information system and communications. Revenue of the group: $108.78 billion, 65,185 crore rupees. Source: year 2014-15. Profit: $6.7 billion, 43,741 crore rupees. Number of shareholders: more than 39 lakh. Number of companies: over 100 operating companies. Number of employees: over 6,000. International presence: business in over countries. Companies listed in the Bombay Exchange: 29 companies. Companies listed in the New York Stock Exchange: Tata Motors. Board of Directors: Tata Sons. Cyrus P. Mystery, Chairman: Ishaq Hussain, Vijay Singh, Nitin Noria, Ronan Sen, Farida Kambata. Board of Directors: Tata Industries. Cyrus P. Mystery, Chairman: Dr. Nirmalya Kumar, KRS Jamwal, Executive Director. R.R. Binge, the Executive Director. Ashish Dewan, Irina Vital, Leadership. Tata Communications. The company's global network includes the world's only, wholly owned fiber ring around the world. Tata Global Beverages. Second largest tea company in the world. Tata Chemicals. World's second largest manufacturer of soda ash. Tata Motors. Among the top 10 commercial vehicle manufacturers in the world. Tata Consultancy Services. Second largest IT services company in the world by market cap and profit. Pioneering initiatives in India. Established the first steel plant. Introduced labor welfare benefits long before they were enacted by law. Started the first power plant. Pioneered civil aviation. Brought insurance to the country. Started the country's first chain of luxury hotels. Led commercial vehicle production. Pioneered software development. Manufactured the country's first indigenous passenger car, Indica. Provided affordable, innovative and inclusive solutions such as the Tata Nano, Tata Swachha water purifier and Shubha Griha housing. Awards won by Ratan Tata. 2014, Lifetime Achievement Award in Ethical Governance and Leadership, Asian Center for Corporate Governance and Sustainability. 2012, the Grand Cordon of the Order of the Rising Sun Government of Japan Lifetime Achievement Award, the Rockefeller Foundation. 2011, Swiss Ambassadors Award for Exceptional Leadership of Switzerland Government. 2010, Hadrian Award, World Monuments Fund. 2009, Business Process Innovation Award, the Economist Grand Officer of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic, Government of Italy. 2008, Padma Vibhushan Ment of India. Govern, Honorary Citizen Award, Government of Singapore. 2007, Kimpro Platinum Standard Statesman for Quality Award, Kimpro Foundation. The Andrew Carnegie Medal of Philanthropy, Carnegie Corporation. 2006, First Award for Responsible Capitalism, First Organization. 2005, Businessman of the Year in Asia, Forbes Magazine Quality of Life Award, Auburn University College of Human Sciences in conjunction with the United Nations. 2003, Entrepreneur of the Year Award, Ernst & Young. 2002, Asia Pacific Community Building Award, East-West Center. Memberships awarded. Member, Prime Minister Council, Trade and Industry. Member, Advisory Board, Mitsubishi Corporation. Member, American International Group, J.P. Morgan and Booz Allen Hamilton. Member, Board of Trustees, Rand Corporation. Member, University of Southern California, Cornell University. Member, Asia Pacific Advisory Committee in New York Stock Exchange. Chairman, Indian Science Institution Court, Bangalore. Secretary, Managing Committee, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. Member, Global Business Council of HIV, for activities to promote AIDS awareness in India. Apart from this, he is also connected with various national and international organizations. Paramount in generosity. What Jamshedji Tata and his sons earned during the era of industrialization, they didn't spend it on comfort and luxury. They gave most of that money to trusts to be utilized for public welfare, so that it could be used only for philanthropic acts. Earning money for oneself and earning for others are two completely opposite things. But here, we talk about that family which earned money for their country, struggling, braving all odds and risking it all, and established several trusts to spend it wisely for the welfare of their fellow citizens, and has been managing it successfully. Jamshedji Tata's acts of public welfare. The group that Jamshedji Tata started as a cloth mill in central India in 1870, is famous around the world today. With Jamshedji's vision and foresight, the steel and energy industry also boomed in India along with the textile industry. His technological knowledge laid the foundation, began works for public welfare, and paved the way to bring India to the gateway to the 21st century. After Jamshedji's demise, his elder son Dorabji Tata took over the control of Tata Group and brought Jamshedji Tata's dreams to fruition with the help of his younger brother Ratan Tata, Uncle J.R.D. Tata and others. The spirit of trusteeship is a byproduct of the business of Jamshedji Tata and his sons, with which they had to fulfill the needs of the country. With his elaborate conceptual thinking, he decided to go beyond the conventional limits of business and do something greater. Jamshedji was filled with the burning desire to develop his country as an industrial nation. He also wanted to train and educate the youth of his nation. With this in mind, he started to send deserving candidates to foreign for higher studies on scholarship. When the British opened the Indian Civil Services, similar to Indian Administrative Services, for Indians, it was Jamshedji's heartfelt desire that more and more Indian youth should join it. Hence, he started giving scholarships to interested candidates for this too. A survey in 1924 made it clear that 1 in every 5 IES candidates at that time was a Tata scholar. The people benefited by the J.N. Tata Endowment Fund included member of the executive of the erstwhile Viceroy, J.C. Kyoji, Chief Justice, Bombay High Court, B.N. Rao, Drive, Jivraj N. Mehta, later, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Drive. Raja Ramana, K.R. Narayanan went on to become the President of India, B.V. Neelarkar, J.V. Neelarkar, etc. Sir Ratan Tata's contribution. Jamshedji was lucky that his sons bore the same values as him. His younger son, Ratan Tata, was very compassionate and kind-hearted and would always rush to help anyone or any organization that he would find to be in trouble. The feeling of patriotism had become one with his thoughts. He was blessed with comprehensive and balanced consideration. Charity or philanthropy is only possible when the person is willing to do so on his own and that will is strongly attached to a thought or action. It is only then that the person is ready to devote his time, his money, and do his part where needed. In his lifetime, Sir Ratan Tata had identified several such issues which needed to be worked upon. Gopal Krishna Gokhale had established the Servants of India Society in Pune in June 1905. His aim was to prepare selfless and intelligent workers dedicated to the nation. On Gopal Krishna Gokhale's request, he gave the organization a financial help of 10,000 rupees every year for 10 years. This money was supposed to be spent by the organization for the welfare of people from the weaker section of the society. Similarly, he also helped Mahatma Gandhi in the non-cooperation movement that he had started in South Africa. This movement was against the apartheid policies and ill treatment of Indians by the erstwhile British government. Just like other patriots, it was a justified and support-worthy movement in the eyes of Ratan Tata as well. The suppression movement by the British government was also in full swing. On Mahatma Gandhi's request, Ratan Tata sent him a total amount of 1.25 lakhs from 1909 to 1913, so that he could successfully continue his movement. Gandhiji expressed his gratitude towards Sir Ratan Tata and said that with his aid, he realized that India has awakened now. His aid would be a big help to our movement. In 1912, Ratan Tata asked the London University to help him establish a bench that would find out the reasons for poverty and suggest ways to remove it. The university presented a proposal. After Sir Ratan Tata's agreement on it, a chair was established in 1913. Sir Ratan Tata agreed to pay £1,400 annually for 3 years for the fulfillment of this project. In 1916, it was extended for the next years. Even after Sir Ratan Tata's demise, the trust formed under his name continued to fund this chair till 1931. During these 19 years, several scholars conducted research on the laborers of several professions and published it. Today, Sir Ratan Tata Foundation is a permanent institution of London School of Economics. Sir Ratan Tata provided an annual aid of 75,000 rupees from 1913 to 1917 to implement the Pataliputra archaeological excavation project. As a result of this excavation, several ancient artifacts were unearthed. They are on display in a museum in Patna. It was his utmost wish to present the glory of his nation. Sir Ratan Tata was also an enthusiast of arts and culture. He was also an enthusiastic traveler who had traveled to several national and international destinations. During his visits, he collected with him several articles of arts and culture. In 1919, this collection valued at 5 lakh rupees. According to his will, this entire collection was handed over to Prince of Wales Museum in 1921 after his death, where these are presented even today. These are just a few of the many philanthropic acts of Sir Ratan Tata. He did several more charitable acts during his lifetime. It also includes helping the victims of flood, famine, wildfire and earthquake, etc. and social welfare institutions such as hospitals, monuments, schools and others. His vision was clear as to how the trust was to be used. In 1913, he laid out a plan for this. According to that, education, training and all areas of industry would be under its scope along with everything useful for the common folk. Another point was training people from bottom up for social, financial and political fulfillment. Also, any plan or project would only be AP-proved if it is made after proper and careful consideration of all points. Sir Ratan Tata Trust. After Sir Ratan Tata's demise, Sir Ratan Tata Trust was set up in 1918 with 80 lakh rupees. It is one of the oldest donors in India. The trust made in his name continued his philanthropic works, even after his death. In 1995, under Sir Ratan Tata's leadership, the framework for the activities from 1995 to 2000 for Sir Ratan Tata Trust was laid out. Under this, something far beyond the conventional acts of welfare was to be done which could conceive further plans of development for the nation. Granting permission for this, the following areas were decided to be focused upon: rural livelihood and community sector, education, health, art and culture, public initiatives. According to this, for the year 2001, 65 new grants were accepted and the trust granted approximately 16 crore rupees. In the later years, the number of grants and amount increased by several folds. After new plans were outlined by Ratan Tata, the trust is providing help in improving the standards of living of the rural poor and rural livelihood. The following areas are under special focus: agriculture and other works, especially helping female groups; rural community, providing relief to victims of natural disasters; research on the major problems in the rural areas; emphasizing human resource development in rural areas; emphasizing on proper management of resources for increasing agricultural production. In the field education, the trust has focused on 2 categories: primary education, higher education. The aim of the grants has been to effectively cooperate community education in this field. The main focus is on quality education. This is an effort to achieve this by training the teachers to increase their knowledge and focusing more on the classroom education. Several programs are being coordinated to keep the students in school. Value-based education is also being emphasized. The trust is helping in community-based health programs in field of health care. For this, public and individual joint enterprises and an activist organization of businessmen involved in public health will be developed. Sir Ratan Tata Trust is also giving several grants to the field of arts for protection and conservation of ancient artifacts. The trust is also helping such programs that are enabling men and women to adapt to the social changes. The trust is also funding some organizations that are active in select fields. The condition for the grant is that it should have a positive impact on the society and it must be important to some field. Along with organizations, the trust is also funding small establishments and individuals. This is being done by Sir Ratan Tata Small Grants Program. Mainly those establishments working for social welfare and individuals working in the fields of education and health care are given grants. Sir Dorabji Tata Trust. Sir Dorabji Tata Trust was founded in 1932 by the elder son of Jamshedji Tata, Dorabji. Dorabji bequeathed his entire property, which was nearly 1 crore at the time, to this trust shortly before his death. It also included his shares in the Tata Sons. Sir Ratan Tata Trust, Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and all other related trusts have a total of 66% shareholding in the Tata Sons. Though Sir Dorabji spent most of his time in fulfilling his father's ambitious dreams, he still took out time for acts of public welfare. The 2 trusts which he established 3 months prior to his death included Lady Tata Memorial Trust. It was comparatively smaller and was primarily for research in leukemia. The other, Sir Dorabji Tata Trust, was of a bigger scale. A few major institutions in India were established, with the generosity of this trust, like 1. Tata Institute of Social Sciences, 1936. 2. Tata Memorial Hospital, 1941. 3. Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, 1945. 4. National Center for Performing Arts, 1966. Sir Dorabji Tata Trust helped M.S. Swaminathan Foundation in establishing J.R.D. Tata Center for Ecotechnology after the demise of J.R.D. Tata to honor his wishes. It was a heartfelt desire of Jamshedji Tata to establish a School of Medical Research into Tropical Medicine. Dorabji wanted to establish this institute in 1912 to honor his wishes, but couldn't do so due to some Ray sons. Their wishes were fulfilled in 1999 when Sir Dorabji Tata Center for Research in Tropical Disease was established in the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. The trust helped in establishing School of Rural Development, Tuljapur and Tata Medical Center, Kolkata in 2004. The trust granted approximately 380 crore rupees until 2006 and it was all for cooperation in creative works. The Tata Trust is contributing to several sectors across the country other than this. The number of Tata Trusts would be enough to explain their work and fields of work. They are as follows. 1. Sir Ratan Tata Trust. 2. Sir Dorabji Tata Trust. 3. Jamshedji Tata Trust. 4. J.N. Tata Endowment. 5. J.R.D. Tata Trust. 6. The J.R.D. and Thelma J. Tata Trust. 7. Lady Meherbai D. Tata Education Trust. 8. Road Tata Trust. 9. M.K. Tata Trust. 10. Tata Social Welfare Trust. 11. Tata Education Trust. All Tata companies are engaged in developing the areas and improving the living standards of people in the vicinity of their plants and factories at their own levels. Not only that, they are also involved in welfare practices even in far-flung areas outside the country. Relief work during disasters. The Tata tradition of relief during natural disasters dates back to the earthquake that shook Kedah in 1934. What's special about the relief work by Tata is that whether it is relief work or rehabilitation, they do it in accordance with their resources and people. One example would suffice. An earthquake shook Latur in the morning in 1993 and on the very evening, a high-level meeting was called, but several groups of the Tata employees had already left with whatever material and resources they had to provide relief to the victims, prior to the meeting. Can such spirit be found anywhere else? Many employees donated blood to aid the victims. At this moment of crisis, the East Zone Relief Committee helped the victims just as much the West Zone Relief Committee did. The Relief Committee of the West Zone took several projects of rehabilitation into its hands and fulfilled them. These chiefly included construction of housing for stay, establishments of schools and medical centers. Sir Dorabji Tata Trust took improving the water availability and state of agriculture and farm animals into its hands. Under the Relief and Rehabilitation Division of the Tata Relief Committee, they helped the Gujarat government by constructing 22 schools in Rapad Taluka of the earthquake-hit Kutch. These schools were constructed according to the highest standards of engineering and are earthquake-resistant. Even during the Kargil War, Tata didn't just sign off a check, but instead, chose to practically help as much as it could. Tata consulted the Ministry of Defense and established a special Tata Defense Welfare Corps Fund. The companies and employees of Tata Group donated 12 crore rupees for this fund. This money was not just for helping the families of the martyred and the injured soldiers in the war, but the victims of other wars and riots were also to be helped with this. It was also for the aid of the widows and higher education of children of the martyrs and crippled soldiers of the Sri Lanka struggle, counterinsurgency, peacekeeping operations and war. In every 6 months, the officials of Tata and security forces have a meeting for the necessary allocation. Ratan Tata is the chairman of the International Trusts of Tata. Tata's idea of constructive work for charity is a revolutionary thought for those institutions whose idea of philanthropy is mere donation of money. Today, the Tata family is one of the select few families of India who are engaged in welfare and charitable activities, that challenges at individual, regional and national levels. Along with helping in developing the nation, Ratan Tata is also associated with several public welfare activities. Nano. Creating the people's car. The project of the world's most inexpensive car was started in 2003, under the supervision of the chairman of Tata Motors, Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata was inspired to make this car from the woes of the millions of two-wheeler riders, who couldn't afford expensive cars. That's why they travel riskily on the two-wheelers with 3 to 4 family members, for important trips. They don't just risk their own life, but the lives of everyone else involved as well. It was Ratan Tata's dream to relieve them from this trouble by giving them with a car easily within their budget. To make the dream of an inexpensive car feasible, Tata made necessary changes in the manufacturing process to meet the design criteria and told the suppliers to think of new designs. The design of the car was made keeping in mind the changes suggested by Ratan Tata. Nano is 21% more spacious as compared to Maruti 800. CRISIL rating agency estimates that with the entry of Nano in the market, the Indian car business will expand by 65%. Tata Motors have started the price range of Nano at 1,000,000 rupees. That's why it has also been nicknamed as the Laktakia car. It is the most inexpensive car in the world. It can also be brought by the families with an annual income of 1 lakh rupees. This really makes it the car of the people. Tata Motors unveiled Nano at the 9th Auto Expo on January 10, 2008. This car was the center of attraction because of its low price and other facilities. Tata Nano is a small 4-seater city car. Its engine has been places in the back. It has been applauded for its low price and environmental-friendly features. The main idea is that the Tata Group will manufacture Nano at a large scale, especially its electric model. Other than being sold in India, it will also be exported to countries around the globe. The car will be manufactured in a standard and in a luxury model. This project of Tata Motors for manufacturing the most inexpensive car in the world began in 2003 by their chairman, Ratan Tata. The success achieved by manufacturing a mini truck in 2005 also fueled the inspiration to build Nano. Tata's primary aim was to make the most inexpensive car in the world, the starting price of which was 1,000,000 in Indian rupees and 2,300 in American dollars. This price didn't change, despite the fact that during the 5 years of its development, the material prices increased by 13 to 23%. It is estimated that the electric model of Tata Nano will be in huge demand in the foreign markets. Director General for Energy and Transport, European Commission, Matthias Root thinks that Europe is also eagerly waiting for the commercial marketing of Tata Nano, just like all other countries. But keeping in mind the adverse effect of carbon dioxide on the environment, Nano's electric model would be more appropriate. The launch of the Nano project. Actually, the Nano project began in 2003 when Tata Motors formed a 4-member team and instructed them to complete a new project. This project was development of a new 4-wheeler. It wasn't even named then, but it was decided that it would be priced at 1,000,000. At that time, the cheapest car was priced at 2.5 lakhs. It was also specified that the trust of the customers, safety and environmental necessities have to be taken care of. The design team brainstormed on several frameworks, alternate ways of manufacturing, and some conclusions were to be drawn from the existing inexpensive cars. The team thought of several options and scenarios, such as using plastic instead of metal, reducing internal space, or using a less powerful engine. The main focus was to keep the costs down. Several techniques were tried, but one question always remained unfulfilled: that how less the customer would be satisfied with. When it was clear that the auto rickshaw methodology wouldn't work for developing an appropriate vehicle, other options came up, like doors free with an iron grille, fabric ceiling, plastic doors, etc. But Ratan Tata didn't agree to any of these suggestions. He stated clearly that he wanted a complete car at a low cost and not a car-like structure. Several thoughts were worked upon. Headlights of different shapes, giving the front end of the car a childish look, small face with big eyes, etc. But Ratan Tata wanted something different. It was challenging for the design team to keep reinventing. The new Indica feature was added to Nano. It changed the front volume of Nano, and noticeable changes were observed in the car. It was a pleasant and directional turn of events in the development of the car. Keeping in mind that the car should appear big and the wheels at the core NER should look attractive, a complete framework was designed. Even the shape and position of bottom of the glass were discussed. All these consulted with Ratan Tata. One model was nearly finished by July 2007, and it was decided to start elementary work on it. That's when Tata found its front end to be a bit strange, so it was decided to be expanded slightly. A new design was presented to Ratan Tata by the end of August of the same year, which he approved immediately. Now, it was the turn of the interior design of the car. There was enough space for changes as compared to the traditional designs. Cost reduction was also the major focus here, but comfort was not to be compromised with at all. A perfect balance had to be struck between the customer satisfaction and a price according to the market. Also, the interior of the car was to be used in such a way that it would look attractive. Several ideas came up. The best were selected, discussed, and implemented to give the car a beautiful look on the inside. Challenges came up at every step in the manufacturing process, because it was different from the traditional auto engineering manufacture, like fitting the engine in the back instead of the front. This was a unique idea. This increased the space inside the car, but it created problems in balancing. To counter this, some setups had to be fitted in the front. The related setups were adjusted and the quality and capability were tested through trials. The floor channel was changed 10 times before it could pass the quality test. Similarly, the dashboard and the seats were also changed. But the team kept working enthusiastically, because the feeling of doing something new and unique in Ratan Tata's inspiration and direction fueled them. In fact, the decision of fitting the engine in the back proved to be revolutionary for the design process. The resource collection team visited several countries to find an engine of 35 horsepower to be fit in a city car. But they couldn't find such an engine within their budget. Then, Tata Motors developed and tested an engine on their own, but it was not suitable for Nano. Finally, the engine of Fiat Bosch Electronics Company passed the test for Nano and it was accepted. It was quite a challenging task to fit the engine, gearbox and exhaust system behind the back seats. But the engineering team completed it successfully. The engineering team must also be applauded because it created several new structures for Nano and implemented them. After the design process was complete, a manufacturing team was formed in the next few months. This was done very carefully. People from outside Tata Motors were also taken in for this. Graduate trainee engineers from IIT, Kharagpur and Jadhavpur University. All in all, it was a mixed team which was a combination of experience and young zeal. When experience was combined with new thoughts, it gave rise to a new work culture. The process of car manufacture is a very arduous one. A few people or by a company on its own cannot achieve it easily. That's why the role of other companies and vendors is important that prepare the necessary equipments and supply them. It is easy to work according to traditional norms and specifications, but it was a bit difficult to create a new pool of vendors or coaxing the previous ones to prepare parts for a new concept like nano, but it was solved by communicating the necessary technique, design and instructions. Hence, a group of nearly 100 vendors was made to collaborate in the nano production that could be a part of the nano manufacturing process by preparing and supplying products according to the need and make it possible to manufacture the car on a large scale. Singur land acquisition controversy. Tata Motors decided the state of West Bengal to establish the nano project. This wouldn't just have opened the gates of industrialization in Bengal, but also provided employment to a lot of people. People would have had increased income because it was expected that several other industries would be set up there because of the success of the nano project. Employment would have reduced the poverty levels. A piece of land was acquired in the Singur area of West Bengal for setting up the factory. The process of this land acquisition went smoothly and even the landowners were satisfied with the compensation amount. But during this process, a group of landowners who didn't live there, a few illiterate farmers and activists of a political party, Trinamool Congress rejected this amount and fired up a controversy. With the backdrop of politics, several new dimensions fueled this controversy. Someone tagged this land as fertile agricultural land, while another cried about the compensation being insufficient. A few questioned the legality of this acquisition and others accused it of being a forceful acquisition. Even though the West Bengal government really wanted that the nano project should start in their state. They developed a necessary environment for it and provided a land acquisition of approximately 997 acres. The main oppositionists of the land acquisition were Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress and Socialist Unity Center. They were fully supported by civil and human rights associations, legal institutions and social activists, who are always in search of such opportunities. The oppositionists had to face the criticisms and verbal threats of the leaders of the ruling party of Bengal, CPIM, and being manhandled by their activists. The state government and survey personnel of Tata Motors had to face severe opposition from the members of the Singur Krishi Bhumi Bachao Committee. As a result, the state government had to impose curfew under Section 144 of the Indian Penal Code, but the Calcutta High Court declared it illegal. The government took the control of the project's reserved land in Tarbad and started to lay siege around it in December 2006, amidst the protest. In its protest, Mamata Banerjee called for a statewide shutdown and went on a hunger strike 25 days after it. The members of her party caused mayhem in the Legislative Assembly. The police force and activists of the Marxist Party started to guard the area in Tarbad, but the opposing villagers and other groups kept attacking it after short intervals. The construction work of the factory on the reserved land began in January 2007. But the protests weren't stopping, they just kept getting more intense. It hindered the pace and in the meanwhile, valuable time was being wasted without any results. Seeing the hindrance in the nano project's establishment in West Bengal, other states started trying to pull it to themselves. During this, negotiations were made and it was tried to come up with a midway solution. But no effective measure could be devised to execute the project in one place. Instead of submitting to the protests, Ratan Tata decided to leave Singur and announced it October 2, 2008. The new center of the nano project, Sanand, Gujarat. After losing a lot of time and money in West Bengal, Ratan Tata announced the shifting of his Loktakia nano project to a new center in Sanand, near Ahmedabad. 2,000 crore rupees were to be spent on this project. But it was decided to manufacture it from another plant at the moment for timely delivery. It's an entirely different matter that clandestine meetings were conducted between the Tata representatives and the Gujarat government. Hence, the industrial secretary of the state and the managing director of Tata Motors signed an agreement. There was a major role of the chief minister of the state, Mr. Narendra Modi, in this agreement, who quickly ensured the allocation of 1,100 acres of good land. Ratan Tata himself expressed his heartfelt gratitude for this. 60 vendors, along with Tata Motors, also started off for Sanand to play their respective contributory roles in the manufacture of nano. Now it had been decided that the large-scale manufacture of nano would take place in the factory being built in Sanand, Gujarat. Meanwhile, in the Pantnagar plant, nano production was started at a relatively smaller level, where some changes were made to the production line of trucks, according to Nano. Similarly, The Pune plant of Tata Motors also started work on some production line to ensure timely delivery of Nano in the market. The annual production capacity of the Sanand plant was 250,000 units, which was later increased. Nano model would satisfy the Indian standards 2, 3 and IV, which are similar to the European standards 2, 3 and IV, and it was decided to launch 3 of its models in the market. Tata Nano's entry in the market. Ratan Tata's Tata Motors crossed all hurdles and finally launched Nano on the streets in 2009, when its first customer was given the key. One of the first 3 customers was handed over the key by the chairman, Ratan Tata, himself. This Nano LX model was of silver color. In spite of losing precious time in the Singur controversy, the timely process of delivering cars to the clients was auspicious for both Nano and Tata Motors. Nano. Some facts. Technical and other features. Rear-wheel drive. 2-cylinder 623cc rear engine 33 PS car, single balancer shaft. Fuel consumption 4.55 L, 100 km, 21.97 km per liter city condition, ordinary 20 km per liter. Length 3.1 meters. Height 1.6 meters. Width 1.5 meters. Safety. All sheet metal body, intrusion-resistant doors, seat belt, tubeless tires. The car has successfully passed the full frontal crash and side impact crash standards. Environment friendly. Pollution emission is lesser than the two-wheelers being manufactured in India. Because of high engine capacity, carbon dioxide emission is reduced. Standard level. Emission level Indian Stage 3 and Euro IV. Nano has successfully passed all government standards for driving a vehicle on roads. There will be 3 models of Nano first, a standard model, and 2 higher-end models, which will be fitted with air conditioners. The RCX of all 3 models would be 600 kg and LX would be 615 and 635 kg, respectively. Nano Europe is estimated to be launched in the markets by 2011. Ratan Tata. A gentle and dignified personality. Ratan Tata is also known for his gentleness and humility. He is counted amongst the top businessmen in the world, but pride hasn't even able to touch him. He is unmarried and the entire Tata family is like a family to him. For nurturing this family, it would have been difficult for him to take out time for his own family, and that's why, instead of settling down, he cared for the entire Tata family as his own. He drives his car to office himself. He sets off on his long and tedious business trips on his own too. He doesn't like much pomp and show. He likes to fly his plane in India himself. He is a skilled pilot. In 2007, he surprised everyone by co-piloting fighter planes F-16 and Boeing F-18 in the Aero India showcase. His behavior with his subordinates is gentle. His subordinates also see him with love and respect. He is a determined and fearless man. It is impossible to bend him because he has firm resolve. He is always alert to possible dangers, but doesn't change his course because of them. It is in his nature to take challenges head-on. He has established the Tata Group as a commercial superpower on an international level. It seems that he has set up a flurry of acquisitions and business agreements after 2003. He brought the truck manufacturing unit from the South Korean giant, Daewoo. May it be the biggest coal mines of Indonesia or the steel mills of Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam, his name resonates everywhere. Furthermore, he has taken over the control of New York's Pierre, Boston's Ritz-Carlton and San Francisco's Camden Place through his Indian Hotels Group. In 2004, he brought Rayco International undersea telecom cables for 13 crores. And that's how Tata rose to the top as an international call carrier. With the purchase of British engineering firm, Infat International, Tata Technologies became a major supplier of outsourced industrial design for American auto and aerospace companies. The acquisition of the Dutch-British steel company, Chorus, is another milestone. In just a click, Tata Steel increased its production and surpassed several American and European suppliers. Along with this, it observed a 5 times increase in its capacity. The market value of listed Tata companies has increased from $12 billion to $62 billion. The sales and profit margin of the companies have also increased and have crossed $29 billion and $2.8 billion, respectively. The total sales of Tata Steel, Tata Motors and Tata Consultancy Services rake in 75% of the total revenue. With the purchase of Jaguar Land Rover, Tata marked its presence in the luxury car market. It presented new dimensions of its skill and foresight with the production of the world's most inexpensive car. They have also set their sight on American aviation. They have made a deal with the American company Sikorsky for opening a helicopter production plant in Hyderabad. Ratan Tata wants the Tata companies to prove that they can easily compete with the companies of developed nations and can hold their own in UPCOM-ing markets. He is also enthusiastically fulfilling his social responsibilities at the same time. The Tata Group is actively engaged in public welfare services. Around 66% shares of the Tata Sons are held by these charitable trusts. Tata left frontier business companies in the field of cosmetics, paints and cements to enter fields such as retail, telecom, and biotech and has made quite a reputable name for itself. Today, there are nearly 100 companies and 300 subsidiaries of Tata Group engaged in 40 business areas. The holding company Tata Sons and Tata Industries has been integrated as one unit because of its employees. Both these companies worked under the chairmanship of Ratan Tata. Both these companies control strategic decisions and help in making major decisions. The group corporate offices Bombay House established by Ratan Tata also leaves its mark on these companies. The 9 senior executives are a part of the Tata Company Board, who are in charge of the corporate responsibilities. Ratan Tata is still involved as an advisor to these companies. Ratan Tata played a major role in the Chorus deal. It was a major league decision and the amount involved was also a lot. But still, Ratan Tata cheered on. He had complete faith on himself and his group. Tata Steel Company spends lakhs of rupees every year for the education, healthcare and agriculture development projects in nearly 800 villages in the vicinity of its plants. Jamshedpur, colonized in 1908, has a population of nearly 7,000,000, which includes a mere number 20,000 Tata employees. Despite this, Tata Steel has taken the responsibility of providing the town with all public services and schools on its shoulders. Ratan Tata is a man of calm demeanor. He is busy in doing his work, quietly, away from the media cameras, without attracting any attention. He is buying companies and brands all over the world. He has turned a family business into a multinational company today. When American Foreign Minister visited India in 2009, she expressed her remarks in the condolence book. She discussed matters of mutual benefit with Indian industrialists and important personalities of the business world. Ratan Tata played the role of host in this meeting. That's Ratan Tata. Who can ever forget the terrorist attacks of 26/11, when 10 terrorists crossed the coastal border of India to infiltrate Mumbai and opened fire in several cities which killed hundreds of people. But many people probably wouldn't know what Tata Group did for its employees affected in the attack. During the time when the Tata Group hotels were closed, every employee, including the temporary employees, who had worked, even for a day, were considered to be on duty. The salaries of the employees were sent via money order during the shutdown. Not just that, with the help of Tata Institute of Social Sciences, a psychological unit was also established to provide counseling to the victims. A mentor was assigned to every employee and it was the responsibility of that person to act like a single window clearance for every need of the employee. Ratan Tata went to meet the families of 80 injured and killed employees. Ratan Tata asked the families and dependents of the employees what kind of help and aid they were expecting. In a record time of 20 days, Tata Group established a trust with the aim of helping the employees. The unique point was that even the people who had no association with the Tata Group whatsoever, like railway employees, policemen and passers-by, were brought into the scope of compensation. The vendors who had lost the means of their livelihood were provided with hand carts by the Tata Group. Ratan Tata and other senior managers were continuously engaged in the last rites of the deceased for 3 days. It was truly a terrible time. Along with the following facilities, Tata's average financial aid to each one of their employees was about 36 to 85 lakhs. 1. Lifelong income to the family and dependents of the employees equal to the last salary. 2. Complete responsibility of protection of the dependents and education of children, wherever in the world. 3. Lifelong healthcare facilities to the dependents and families. 4. All loans and advance payments waived, no matter how big the amount was. 5. Lifelong counseling facility for everyone. The fact is that if you will care about your employees, then they will also give their best for your products. Companies who are concerned towards their employees don't have to worry about trivial matters such as making them stay working with zeal, even after retiring. Tata Swacha. World's most cost-effective water purifier improves affordable ITY of safe drinking water for millions of Indian families. Pure water is one of the world's most precious natural resources. With much of India's population denied access to safe drinking water, the delivery of safe, convenient and affordable water purification is one of the biggest social and technological challenges in the country today. Responding to this challenge, Tata Chemicals unveiled Tata Swacha, a unique and innovative water purifier. Requiring no energy or running water to operate, an early version of the product first saw the light of day as part of the tsunami relief efforts. Today, the replaceable filter-based product, which is entirely portable and based on low-cost natural ingredients, delivers safe drinking water at a new market benchmark of 30 per month for a family of 5. Tata Swacha is the result of years of collaboration between several Tata companies, including TCS, Tata Chemicals and Titan Industries. Based on an innovative concept developed by the TCS Innovation Labs, TRDDC, the Swacha technology combines low-cost ingredients such as rice husk ash with superior nanotechnology. A key part was the insight that a natural material like rice husk can be processed to significantly reduce waterborne germs and odors when impure water is passed through it. The efficiency of the product has been rigorously tested to meet internationally accepted water purification standards. Waterborne disease is the single greatest threat to global health, with diarrhea, jaundice, typhoid, cholera, polio, and gastroenteritis spread by contaminated water. According to a 2007 United Nations report, half of the world's hospital beds are occupied by patients suffering from waterborne diseases. In India, such diseases cause more than 1.5 times the deaths caused by AIDS and double the deaths caused by road accidents. Built around a bulb-like water purifier made of natural elements like rice husk ash impregnated with nano-silver particles, Tata Swacha is convenient to use. It produces clean and safe water without using electric power or running water, which is often not available in rural areas. The cartridge bulb is packed with a purification medium which has the capability to kill bacteria and disease-causing organisms. It can purify up to 3,000 liters of water, after which the cartridge stops water flow. The water purifier gives the user enough lead time for cartridge replacement. 14 patents have been filed for the technology and product. Tata Swacha combines technology, performance, convenience and above all affordability to serve this basic human right of millions of consumers. The company has made affordability an important part of its innovation efforts. Tata Swacha can play its part in the national efforts to reduce waterborne diseases. The device has been developed using nanotechnology. Initially a part of corporate social responsibility, the project now is available for commercial use. Priced under 1,000, the water purifier doesn't require electricity. This feature mostly appeals to the vast rural population that faces power shortages. The water purifier makes brackish water potable and will make it possible for several households in India to have pure, drinking water. Other Tata Group companies like Titan Industries will be involved with this project, which could be the beginning of a long-term interest in creating eco-friendly products. Investing in Snapdeal. Tata Sons Chairman Emeritus Ratan Tata holds less than 1% stake in Snapdeal, India's largest online marketplace, according to documents filed by the company with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs (MCA). The total value of the 73-year-old billionaire's 0.17% stake in New Delhi-based Snapdeal as of September translates to $3.1 million, about 20 crore, to $3.4 million, about 21 crore, taking into account the latest round of funding raised by the company, estimated at $627 million, 3,880 crore, and which valued it at between $1.8 billion, 11,147 crore, and $2 billion, 12,386 crore post-money, in October earlier this year. However, Tata's investment, which was made in his personal capacity and was announced in August 2014, was seen as the biggest endorsement of India's nascent, yet hyper-competitive e-commerce industry, given his stature as corporate India's biggest brand ambassador. Moreover, the minority investment by India's biggest corporate czar is also seen as an acceptance by India's traditional business houses of India consumer internet sector. The exact investment, which has been made through an entity called RNT Associates, however, has not been disclosed by his representatives or by Snapdeal. According to documents filed by the company with the MCA, venture capital firm Kalari Capital, which was earlier known as Indo-US Venture Partners, held a 21.1% stake in Snapdeal as of September, making it the largest institutional investor in the company, prior to Japanese telecom and internet conglomerate SoftBank sealing the latest round of funding last month. Others, such as Nexus Venture Partners, through two investment vehicles, held between 18.5% and 19% in the company, while the founders, Kunal Bal and Rohit Bansal, controlled about 14% of Snapdeal, which also includes the founder stock option pool. In 2014 alone, Snapdeal raised almost $1 billion, 6,193 crore, from investors, a list that includes technology giant eBay, Temasek Holdings, the sovereign investment arm of the government of Singapore, the world's largest asset manager BlackRock Inc. and Premji Invest, the investment arm of Wipro chairman, Azim Premji. However, post the latest round, SoftBank is believed to own between 30% and 35% of the company. The founders, Bal and Bansal, have also participated in the new round, which saw only a few of the company's investors, largely those who came in earlier this year, putting in an undisclosed amount. Bluestone, online jewelry destination on Bluestone.com, announced a third round of VC funding, worth 100 crore, in July 2015. The funding was led by Excel Partners, Ivy Capital and Dragoner, with participation from Kalari Capital and Sama Capital. Ratan Tata invested in the company in September 2014. Bluestone will continue to invest a significant portion of the funds in marketing efforts to build a strong and distinctive brand. With the current revenue run rate of 80 to 100 crore per annum, Bluestone has grown by 150% year-on-year. According to Gaurav Singh Kushwaha, co-founder and CEO of Bluestone, consumers are far more comfortable buying jewelry online today than a year back. The ecosystem in India has enabled trust in the e-commerce sector. He's eyeing at over 200% growth every year for the next 2 to 3 years. Bluestone is expanding its team to cater to the growing demand. Currently with 250 employees, Bluestone is expected to add close to 150 more people across levels in the next 6 months. The expansion will enable the team to launch more designs more frequently. Company is also focusing on improving the user experience on mobile and desktop platform. The Bangalore-based Bluestone is unique due to its vertically integrated model from manufacturing to e-tailing. Owning its supply chain end-to-end enables Bluestone to deliver consistently high-quality experience to its customers. Additionally, through its unique operating model, Bluestone is amongst the few e-commerce startups in India which are operationally profitable. The Indian jewelry market, which comprises real and imitation jewelry, is in the region of 251,000 crore, $41.61 billion United States dollars, in 2013, with potential to touch 500,000-530,000 crore, 82 United States dollars and 94 cents -87.93 billion, by 2018, according to a joint report by Fitchi at Kearney titled, All That Glitters is Gold, India Jewelry Review 2013. Urban Ladder. Urban Ladder was launched in July 2012 by IIT and IIM graduates Gol and Rajiv Shrivastava and competes with other online furniture retailers, including Pepperfry and Rocket Internet-backed Fab Furnish, in a category which is growing steadily and has attracted interest from e-commerce biggies like Flipkart, Amazon and Snapdeal. The impending launch of Swedish furniture giant IKEA is likely to stir up the largely unorganized furniture market in India, which is estimated at $8-10 billion. The e-tailer has so far raised around $30 million in risk capital with investors like Steadview Capital, Safe Partners and Kalari Capital on board. Urban Ladder offers as many as 30 subcategories, presently, which are divided into core, distinctive and unique offerings. The e-tailer aims to have 10% unique offerings, 20-25% distinctive products, while the rest would come under its core offerings. Mr. Tata's decision to invest in Urban Ladder marks a milestone in the company's 2.5-year-old journey. The company aims to be the biggest furniture seller in India in the next 18 months. It also claims that world-class product design and exceptional customer experience have been its key differentiators. The company is also using innovative technology to further elevate customer experience to bridge the gap between online and offline shopping. Focusing on mobile, Urban Ladder has launched 2 apps in last 3 months, of which the first one was a modular wardrobe configurator and the other for furniture shopping. Cardeco. The idea of the flagship Cardeco was kicked off by brothers Amit, 38, and Anurag Jain, 36, both IIT Delhi alumni, after their visit to the Delhi Auto Expo in 2008. A year earlier, they had founded an IT outsourcing firm Gurnar Software, providing a launch pad for innovations in the consumer internet space based out of Jaipur. Cardeco claims to have 10 million unique visitors on its site and expects to garner growth through online advertising by carmakers, subscription charged to used car dealers and new car sales through the portal. Its acquisition of Nasper's owned Gaudi.com was aimed at helping it scale up its used car presence, a growing category in India. The combined entity claims to be the largest in terms of traffic and revenue in the auto classified space. The company's lead generation has been doubling year-on-year as traffic grew 45% over the previous year. Tata's expertise in the automobile sector, especially in respect to the forays he made for his group into global markets, will likely help Cardeco scale up geographically. Ola Cabs, commonly known as Ola, is an Indian online transportation network company. Ola started as an online cab aggregator in Mumbai, now based out in Bangalore. It was founded on 3 December 2010 by Bhavish Agarwal, currently CEO, and Ankit Bhatti. By 2014, the company has expanded to a network of more than 200,000 cars across 85 cities. In November 2014, Ola expanded to incorporate autos on trial basis in Bangalore. Post the trial phase, Ola Auto expanded to other cities like Delhi, Pune and Chennai starting December 2014. In December 2015, Ola expanded its auto services in Chandigarh, Indore and Jaipur. Ola was valued at $5 billion as of September 2015. Ola, which is revolutionizing transportation today and creating significant value for citizens and lasting social impact for driver partners, will stand to benefit from Tata's endorsement and guidance going forward in a big way. In October last year, Ola raised around $200 million from Japan's SoftBank, one of the largest deal in the Indian taxi services business. Apart from SoftBank, Ola has raised capital from Tiger Global, Matrix Partners India and Steadview Capital. This growth has been further accelerated with the acquisition of Taxi for Sure, India's second largest cab aggregator in March 2015. Ola has leveraged its strength as an on-demand platform by going beyond transportation into instant food delivery with Ola Cafe, currently available in beta across 4 cities. Paytm is an Indian e-commerce shopping website headquartered in Noida, India, launched in 2010. It is owned by 197 Communications. The firm started by offering mobile recharging, adding bill payment and e-commerce, with products similar to businesses such as Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal. In 2015, it added booking bus travel. In 2014, the company launched Paytm Wallet, now India's largest mobile payment service platform with over 100 million wallets and 10 million app downloads. Paytm users can pay for the fuel at Indian Oil petrol pump through Paytm Wallet. Users can also book movie tickets on Paytm and has partnered with PVR, Inox and other cinemas. At present, the company is doing $1 billion gross merchandise value (GMV), with only 15% customers choosing cash on delivery (COD) option. In 2014, Paytm became the largest digital commerce company in India. Paytm is available across many popular mobile apps like Uber, BookMyShow, MakeMyTrip and Foodpanda as preferred payment method. The investment by Mr. Tata came after the world's biggest e-commerce firm Alibaba announced last month that it will acquire 25% stake in 197 Communications, Paytm's parent firm. His investment is a sign of his trust in the rising platform of mobile payment and commerce. Xiaomi. Ratan Tata has kept himself busy since stepping down as chairman of the Tata Group in 2012, investing in several promising technology startups in India. He has now taken this active ITY to a whole new level, becoming the first Indian to pick up a stake in China's largest smartphone maker, Xiaomi. The 78-year-old has invested an undisclosed amount in the company, touted by investors as the world's most valuable technology startup at $45 billion. Senior executives at Xiaomi told Toy that they would seek Tata's advice on how to expand to international markets and become the #1 phone maker in the country in the next 3 years. Xiaomi, which has rapidly grown to become the 5th largest smartphone vendor in India after entering the market in July 2014, sold around 95% of its 65 million phones in China last year, which is the world's biggest phone market. Lei Jun, founder and CEO of Xiaomi, finds India to be the most important market for Xiaomi after China, and he wants its international business to grow to half of its total business in the long term. In December last year, Xiaomi raised $1.1 billion from investors including Russian investment firm DST Global, Singapore sovereign wealth fund GIC Private, and Yunfeng Capital, a PE company associated with the Alibaba Group, valuing the firm at $45 billion. Often touted as the Apple of China, the company has grown to become a major competition to global giants like Samsung and Apple. The Beijing-based phone maker rose to fame by selling top-spec handsets at rock-bottom prices and overtook Samsung as China's largest vendor by shipments in the second quarter of last year. While the company already ranks at the top in Chinese market, in India it is among the top 5 players as per the estimates of research firm Gartner. He made several investments in a lot of startups, but that's not all. His other plans include low-cost housing, sustainable energy, waste management and clean water for Indian citizens, and here is what he has done for these causes so far. Nutrition. He had demanded full subsidy on food for the underprivileged sections of the society. He had also said that the country was going to suffer if children's very existence was condemned because of malnutrition. Clean water. Clean drinking water is another essential area which drew Tata's attention, and as part of his social responsibility, a rice husk ash-based water filter was developed at the Pune-based Tata Research Development and Design Center. Waste management. XPRIZE, the global leader in incentivized prize competition, entered Indian market in collaboration with Ratan Tata and other philanthropists. Happy Space. Nurturing talent and rising ideas. Ratan Tata's Happy Space is nothing but his own zone wherein he spends time with Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT) students, meets young entrepreneurs and, of course, spends some time taking care of Tata Trust's initiatives. After stepping down as chairman of Tata Sons in 2012, Ratan Tata had also expressed his wish to focus on initiatives like rural development, water conservation and child nutrition, to change the mental and physical health of our nation in years to come. The first few weeks of life after retirement have been wonderfully pleasant. As days go by, I will begin to focus my attention on specific areas where value can be added to enhance the quality of life of the rural citizens. I hope this will be greatly engrossing activity and one which hopefully I would enjoy. This is an excerpt from the letter dated January 26, 2013, that Ratan Tata wrote after his retirement from the post of chairman of Tata Group in 2012. The quote mentioned above clearly reflects Ratan Tata's humane side and also depicts how he longed to give it back to the society by devoting his time, and not just money, for the cause. And that wraps up our exploration of Business Kohinoor, Ratan Tata by B.C. Pandey. This book not only highlights Ratan Tata's incredible legacy but also offers profound insights into leadership and strategic decision-making that can inspire anyone in the business world. If you found this video helpful and enlightening, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow book lovers, and subscribe to Book Tuber Vishal for more captivating book reviews and insights. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.